And welcome to yet another Q&A Thursday where we're kind of changing it up. We got a different camera angle. I have a different co-host.
What's up, guys?
We're working on all that stuff. By the way, I'm your host, Dane Hennon. To my right,
Gabe
our
Garcia.
very own Gabe Garcia. I'm happy to have you here answering questions while Anthony is down at Mobile Tech Expo.
Yeah, he's going to be busy down there, and I'm excited to hear what is going on in their neck of the woods. And I think you're going down there soon, right, on Saturday?
Yes, I will be joining him down there. We will be going on a bit of a Florida adventure. I think we're going to have a good time. And yes, before everybody freaks out, they decided to have a mustache day here recently, and I wasn't going to sit that one out. So I kind of...
I sat that one out, Dane.
Yeah, I discovered, actually, that if anything ever happens to this chin, I have a second one ready to go
I really
protect
think
and
Dane
replace.
looks like Ted Lasso. Yeah, everyone was like, oh,
no.
He looks like this. So I feel like we need to have a sign behind us that says believe.
It's a powerful mustache, I'll grant you that. But
I think it is.
Yeah, no, it's temporary, guys. This is not going to be like something you see forever. I promise. Good Lord, nobody wants that.
I think he should keep it personally. I feel motivated to be a better person every day now that he's here in our presence, you know?
Okay, all right.
Well, Dane,
if I inspire you, that's a good start. Now, before we go into answering questions and everything today, I am going to give you guys a heads up. It's actually a lot of housekeeping here.
Yeah.
First things first, we will not be having a Q&A next week because of the whole us being gone thing.
Yeah, Dane, Jimmy, and Anthony are going to be gone. They're going to be visiting our friends at Obsessed Garage and Tavarish. So they're going to be pretty busy in that interim. So really what we're going to be doing here is a lot of physical housekeeping, if you will.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then the other thing was we may not be able to populate questions on the chat, but actually I'm getting a heads up. Maybe it got fixed. So
while Dane goes and fixes the iPad so we can start putting up comments, what I'm going to kind of give you guys an update is if you haven't done so already, there's a sale going on right here on the Rag Company
Tell them about it.
website. It is 20% off using code SHINY20 on all microfiber towels. So again, if you go to the website, we've got some really great deals. Nick, if you scroll down, obviously our drying towels. Look at that. Use code SHINY20 when checking out if you want any of these awesome towels. Anywhere from your drying, your exterior towels. I mean, you can get yourself some Eagle Edgeless, some Spectrums. My favorites are the Creatures for interior, exterior. They're just kind of a good all-around towel.
Bang for a buck, they do it all.
I mean, yeah, your Edgeless 245s. Does that include the Rippin' Rags? I believe it does.
Does it now?
I believe it does.
If you go to the site, take a look. Maybe. Just check.
Today is the last day. Yes, it does. The Ultra Rip and Rag XL, baby. If you want a good towel to use for, I don't know, anything pertaining to your paint, you don't want to scratch anything, you want a good towel to wipe off coatings, that Ultra Rip and Rag XL is the bee's knees. So definitely pick those up today.
That Pearl Weave is amazing. And as far as towels on rolls are concerned, those are the GOAT.
And again,
so good.
Just today. So today is the last day. So you'll want to pick those up if that's something you are interested in.
All right.
Yep.
So now that we got the sale out of the way, take your time, put it up in another browser, another tab, but keep this one going.
Yeah.
We are going to be answering your detailing questions. Of course, they ran away with my iPad, so we'll get that back in a little bit.
And we got Carson behind the scenes. Carson, what are we washing back there? Is that a Honda Civic Type R?
No, it's my Subaru, my 2020 Subaru WRX STI. So
it's a blue beauty.
It is a blue beauty.
It's riding a little high compared to how I normally see it, though.
Yeah, maybe at some point Carson will air down. But I do know, just looking at those the tires, they are filthy. So he's gonna have to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, Gabe. Don't worry.
All right, I finally have the ability to populate questions on the screen. So we can get to that, which, by the way, if you're just joining us and you've never watched this show before, I'm glad you're here, first of all. Thank you so much for joining. And don't be alarmed by the mustache. Second of all,
it is Dane.
Please,
it is actually Dane, not Ted. Dane.
Yeah, no, they're friendly person still behind the mustache, despite all that. But this is a very visual podcast, as it turns
Yes.
out. Anyway, we answer your questions. You pop them in the live chat below, and we just go through them. We kind of converse over whatever you guys are talking about, and we kind of share a bit of a dialogue back and forth. So that's kind of the fun of this show.
Yeah.
But anyway, you go ahead and take a look here at what Kim is saying. Kim is leading off the show. Nice to see Kim, by the way.
Greetings. I was today years old when I discovered the FTW, and rinseless is more amazing on glass than sponge. Love it. Yeah, we agree, Kim.
There we go.
Love the FTW. It's a good all-around towel for quick detailing, for windows. Yeah, that is one of my favorites.
FTW did originally stand for the window.
Oh, I thought it standed for... Oh.
No, that's a different...
Oh, my bad, Dane.
Yeah, there's some songs called that, some other things if you're a little punkish. But no, the actual towel was for the window. However, people quickly discovered you can use it for a lot more than that. So really... Yeah. I don't know another towel that can do as many different things as well as the FTW.
One of the things I like about it is, especially for quick detailing, that's my go-to.
Yeah.
You don't have as much streaking with the FTW. On the glass, it works fantastic for the glass, as Dane mentioned. And the other cool thing about them is, right now, we have 3 different colors. So I know in the midst of like bead maker, if you're a bead maker user or a quick detailer, you could use orange for that. Obviously, we color comboed pink with Dream Maker, and then blue for glass. So it's kind of cool because you can color combo them however which way you want.
You have some options.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to also point out, because lately I've been doing these Q&As with kind of a theme attached to each one to kind of give it a flavor. And this week, I try and tie it to whatever the video release for the week is for TRC.
Which is microfiber.
It's microfiber in general, because we're the rag company. But there's just so many towels to choose from. I understand it can be intimidating, confusing for people. And Anthony's video did an excellent job of breaking it down for people, which if you haven't seen that,
it's right here on the YouTube
wait until
channel. This
is over.
Yeah.
Don't leave us. Make sure you click like and all that. But it is a video well worth watching because it's one people have asked for forever.
Well, and the thing with our towels, too, is I think of detailing products and towels like processes, right? You want to put in a towel or even a chemical, fit it in with a process that works best for you. Just because everyone or another detailer or person is utilizing something, you might find a different tool that its use is for more so, a different process. So it's just kind of experimenting, figuring out what you like. As Anthony would say, different strokes for different folks, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So this week we are answering specifically your detailing towel questions, but
we're also answering anything.
I try and zhuzh it up a little.
Yeah.
I give some flavor to this, but that's kind of the
try to give it some
the focus this week, if you will.
David Cervantes, what's up, guys? What's up, David?
Now, yeah, we've got ProShine saying pretty slow here today. How's everybody doing? It's warming up. That's what it is.
It is warming up. In the mornings, it's still very cold, but hey, we're here. We're ready to roll.
And OC Detail New Jersey. Oh, wait, that was 7 minutes to go. Dan Pfeiffer. It wouldn't be a show without Dan. Dan saying good afternoon and word up from a hot 50-degree sunny Minnesota day.
It is 50 degrees?
What? 50.
It's warmer in Minnesota than it is in Boise, Idaho. What the heck?
I'm confused by all that. Then he follows up. Since I can't get pluffles for rinseless drying anymore, I still have a stockpile, he says.
That's good.
What is the next best towel? I use the sponge for rinseless application and the pluffles for the wipe-off/drying. How would you approach that, Gabe?
So if I'm doing a rinseless wash, are you using the towels as your actual wipe-on, wipe-off, or is it drying? For the drying process, I would go with a gauntlet. I love gauntlets, different sizes of gauntlets, even down to a 12 by 12. For if you're going to use anything like, if you're going to do like the Ammo NYC approach where you don't use a sponge or anything like that, I would go with an Eagle Edgeless 500.
That's a solid choice.
Yeah.
Generally, when you're doing a rinseless wash and you want to use a towel, if you're using the sponge but you want to switch to a towel method, rinseless tends to favor longer pile towels, circular knit weave, or coral fleece, like in the case of the the wolves and stuff. So there's options out there.
Yeah. And then your lower dual.
Yeah,
dual
like Minx
pulper joint.
Royale also works great.
Yep.
That one was actually designed particularly with rinseless washes in mind because it turns this very unique spongy kind of feel.
Yeah, it feels almost like the chenille mitt, right? The chenille mitt is kind of a weird example where it's like that, but yeah. So anything with a long nap is something that I would probably go with.
You need somewhere for the dirt and the soil that you're picking up off the surface. It needs a place to go.
Yeah.
And the problem with a shorter pile, a tighter pile, is that you just wind up grinding that across the surface.
Yeah.
Even if you have a very good rinseless that creates that barrier that separates, obviously, like you want, the dirt from the surface, you're just kind of increasing the chances that with too much pressure, you end up causing an issue where with a longer pile, it's an insurance policy.
Yeah, it is an insurance policy. So that's why those two combos, I would go with that. Try it out, see what you think.
All right. Happy to say, Neil White saying winter is over. Happy Thursday, TRC.
Happy Thursday, Neil. Hopefully it's over. I don't know. One day it's
it doesn't
warm,
feel
the
like
next day it's snowing sideways.
Yeah, we'll see.
So we'll see.
Jeff C. with some commentary for Dan. What's he saying?
Dan Pfeiffer, Dryer Wolf will probably give you the closest fill, but I really like the Liquidator for rinseless wash. Yeah? The Dryer Wolf is also a good option, too.
Yes.
I haven't tried the Liquidator. My only thing with the Liquidator is how heavy it gets. The Liquidator, obviously being a drying towel, it's going to soak up a lot of water.
And it's an 1100 GSM twist loop, so that is going to be a fairly heavy towel when it's fully laden.
Now,
with
granted, with the Liquidator, you can go with different sizes. So if you are going to go with a Liquidator, my guess is size down. That would be kind of a solve to that.
Then I got R. Vasquez here, 818, saying, Happy Thursday. I agree. Happy Thursday.
Happy
right
Thursday,
back at
man.
you, R. Vasquez. And Alpha Tango. Been seeing him a lot lately.
Yes, I have the day off, and I'm currently unsupervised. Wife is at work. I have a cold Diet Pepsi and a bag of sunflower seeds. Life is good. That sounds like a really chill Thursday.
He set himself up for the Q&A right. He knows how the show goes. He's got the full arrangement. He's ready to do it.
I love that.
Happy to have you here, Alpha. All right.
I'm assuming this is for Dan Pfeiffer response. Edgeless 365, everything except drying.
That is, the Edgeless 365. Yes, the 365 refers to the GSM, but it was also kind of intentional that it was the towel you could use every day.
It is.
So 365 in that sense as well.
The 365 Edgeless is fantastic. The Creature Edgeless 365.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the case of the Creature Edgeless, you're talking about a 420 GSM
You are. But the cool thing I like about that towel is another add-on is just its versatility between its dual nap, which is fantastic. I mean, it's great for interior, it's great for exterior, and if you're doing a compound polish, wipe off with a long nap, then hit it back with a second wipe off with a short nap.
There we go. All right, Juice Free. Been seeing him all over. Love seeing you here. Apron, he screams. Let's go. What's up, gang?
Every Q&A.
I appreciate that he's reliable.
That's true.
You can
and
count
he's consistent.
On him. Yeah. I'm saying him. I don't even know if it's a him, so sorry to assume if that's
Juice
not
Free,
your thing. But
we support you, and trust us, the apron talk has happened. Whether it'll happen or not, stay tuned.
Believe it or not, we did once, many, many, many moons ago, make an Eagle Edgeless apron for the Junkman.
Oh,
you remember that?
Yes,
and of
vaguely.
Course, it's an Eagle Edgeless, so think about what that's going to do when you use it as an apron. Sure, it's nice and soft when you go over like a car and you're working. You're like, okay, I'm not hurting anything. But what happens when you lean against like a workbench that has like sawdust on it or other
everything.
things? It grabs everything.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that was around the time we came up with the Eagle Edgeless blanket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an evolution from that conversation as well.
OCD Detail NG finally opened up my Black Friday haul box. Thanks, TRC, for the sticker and TRC sunglass lens cloth.
You can use it for even more than sunglasses. It works on your watch, on your phone,
your LCD screen on your car.
Exactly.
If
any
you
kind of like smooth or polished surface, something that you don't want to have smudges or fingerprints on. It's good at getting rid of oils, even without anything on it. You can water them up, of course, too, but having them and dry, works great, but then you can wash them when you want to reuse them. If they start to get like a little too much schmutz in them or whatever, you just rinse them under a faucet and use a little bit of hand soap, and it's ready to go again.
You know another way to solve that too?
What's that?
Just do another order through the rag company.
That is an option. That is another way to get another lens cloth so that you never run out.
That has been a staple for a long time too, because back when we were in the garage, we used to hand those out because it was kind of a appreciative thank you for. Thank you for your order.
People were genuinely surprised because they thought, oh, they're giving it away for free. It's probably junk. And then people would actually use them and realize, oh, no, these are actually amazing little cloths.
They're really, really useful. I have them in my glove box.
One other way you can get them is if you find us at a trade show.
Yep.
We tend to take them with us to trade shows like SEMA.
Bring your marching band. Dane will hand them all out.
I will never forget. I gave one person who was like walking around, I think it was like with a sousaphone. I gave them a lens cloth and I said, hey, that'll work on your brass if you just need to like get a few areas where some fingerprints show up. Like, oh, thank you. I didn't see the rest of the band coming. All of a sudden, the rest of the marching band looked over and was like, holy crap, free lens cloths. Yeah. And they all start coming over and taking them.
Everyone looks to the corner and Dane's like this. Dane's like, and everyone's like, Dane, that's all we brought. And Dane's like, I didn't know.
So if you look back at our travel vlogs, which I used to do all those for us, but, people tended not to watch them. So I think they're worth going back as like a little trip down memory lane. They're
Dane,
really fun.
I'm getting a little bit of a Sasquatch smell.
Oh, Sasquatch smell.
Sasquatch, and I'm not calling you a Sasquatch,
yeah, that's
Carson,
kind of
but more or less the smell smells good. What are you using back there?
Thank you for asking, Gabe. I'm using Armor Detail Supply's wheel cleaner. You actually find it at theragcompany.com.
Oh, wow. Look at that plug. That was...
Wow. Beautiful. Nailed it.
Good job, Carson.
All right. Well, while we talk, maybe they can cut to some angles of him doing the work over there. I think maybe that's the better thing to be
that way
looking
they don't
at
have to
right
see my
now
lazy eye.
Or my double chin. So, hey, we're working on it, We got Spencer saying, hey, folks, love the mustaches. Thank you, sir. I appreciate
Spencer
it.
B, that's very kind. Unfortunately, I have a terrible mustache, so I did not do what everyone else was doing. Carson's back there laughing because he knows it's true.
Then I got Josh McKay here. Hello from sunny, comfortable South Florida. Wish I was going to MTE, but I'm just a DIYer. You know what, Josh?
Josh, that's awesome.
DIYers go to MTE from time to time, too.
You know what? DIYers also everyone starts somewhere. I mean, Anthony was a DIYer, and now look at where he's at.
I mean, he became like a resident expert on so many different things because he approached stuff from an enthusiast angle. And I think... this is kind of glazing him a little bit, but the truth was, like, you had Levi. He had lots of shop experience. He came from that background, and obviously there's a built-in level of respect that comes from detailers when they see and they hear that, and Levi had no problem reminding you of it every time you asked of, like, how much experience he had. Now, when it came to Anthony, he had a bit of a tougher time establishing himself as somewhat of an authority on these things because they go, well... You're just like me. You're just somebody who was just buying stuff and trying it. But they don't know Anthony the way we do. And I can promise you, he is so deep in it.
He's very methodical.
So crazy inside.
That guy is always on his phone, and you think he's just scrolling, but really he's doing a lot of research.
So much research.
And as a DIYer, myself, I'm also a DIYer in the sense, and that's how I started going down the rabbit hole as well.
Yeah.
So it's definitely fun. So DIYer, don't ever knock yourself for being a quote unquote DIYer. Just because you're new to it doesn't mean, in a couple of years you're going to be a pro. I mean,
the pros out there started somewhere too.
Everybody starts somewhere, and it's just cool seeing where you're at. So we're stoked that you're here.
Got to back yourself.
Thanks, Josh McKay.
Thanks, Josh. All right. Brian Rushing.
Let's go. I need to know why I need to order towels, more towels. You need to order more towels because they're so freaking fantastic.
Because it's the last day of the sale.
It is the last day of the sale. It's 20% off, code SHINY20. And the thing is you can never have enough towels. To be honest, Brian, I have so many freaking towels in my garage that I am running out of places and nooks and crannies to fill them. I literally am. And the reason why is because you can never have enough towels.
Okay.
Lucas Blaine from customer service. Oh my gosh. It's Ron Swanson.
I've gotten a few. I got Ted Lasso. I got Ron Swanson, which I can definitely see. And then I myself looked up that HBO show, The White House Plumbers. I look like that Gordon Liddy guy.
I have an idea. How about Jimmy? Maybe Jimmy can get on the YouTube and do a poll. Ron Swanson, Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Who's the other one?
I mean, there's options. Ron Burgundy also came up.
Ron Burgundy, I think Nick says. So I would do Ron Burgundy, Ted Lasso, Ron Swanson,
There's a few options.
Let's do a poll.
There. So, thanks in advance for whatever choice of abuse you choose to.
Jimmy's going to get a poll going here shortly. So,
Juice Free, 3 towels, all those exclamation points. Gray Edgeless 300 for interior, blue Edgeless 365 for exterior, and a 16 by 24 blue waffle weave, and that's it.
That's it?
He's just like, that's 3 towels. That's what he uses. All right, Juice.
I mean,
you got your ways.
No FTWs, no drying towels.
No, he's going simple. He's going a little old school, but I respect
Juice,
it.
I respect it. The 1624 blue waffle was our staple drying towel back in the day before we had all of these fancy twist loop, GSM. Absolutely amazing for soaking up water, drying towels.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Bill Pearson saying, howdy, fellas, from not so sunny SoCal, working on the IK12 hose mod from Will's Ride Care while taking in the show.
Oh, thanks, Bill. We appreciate
that,
you
Bill.
watching, man.
Yeah. And Lucas Hudek here. Good evening, TRC, and all beautiful people here. Sending regards from Slovakia.
Whoa, that is
always
sweet.
Loving our international audience.
Yes.
It's
Thank
fun
you, Lucas.
to hear how things are going in your neck of the world. So thanks for sharing, Lucas.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And,
Here we go. We got Brian Rushing. TRC or not, what's everyone's favorite drying towel?
And that's what got the conversation going there.
Okay, Brian. Right out of the gate, I'm going to say my favorite my drying towel is the Gauntlet. I love the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
I love the 12 by 12 to finish off your inner door wells and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I like just having the variety in sizes. And to be honest, I love the Liquidator and the 1500 are beasts. They are the best, but so is the Gauntlet. But my reason for liking the Gauntlet is I don't like having such a thick towel in my hand.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, I'd rather fold it if I want the thickness. Otherwise, I'm good with just that. But I know yours. What's yours?
I love the Liquidator, man.
Okay.
The different sizes are very useful to me, and I actually really enjoy the hemmed edge.
Alpha Tango
I like the way it rolls
04
over. So
agrees with you.
I'm with you on that,
What
Alpha.
about Carson? Favorite drying towel? We've had this discussion so many times.
The 1500, absolutely.
Dude, he's
a beefy boy.
Go big or go home type of guy, if you know
absolutely.
what I mean. So Carson and I don't know, this is kind of a side tangent, Tane, but Carson and I, every week, twice a week, we do a live on TikTok. So it's kind of similar to this Q&A, but it's more like a wash and talk vlog style where you guys can tune in and stuff like that. And last week we gave away a Air Blaster V2 on the show.
That was actually very cool.
It was really cool. And tomorrow we're testing a new chemical line here at 12:45 is when we're going to start Mountain Standard Time. And then next week we're going to do another wash, and chances are very likely we're going to probably do another giveaway. So even though the Q&A is not happening next week,
there's still lives.
One thing that I can suggest is if you want to catch some TRC lives, do some talking, tune in to the TikTok, Rad Company TikTok channel, subscribe there, and be a part of it because we do a lot of giveaways.
Okay.
So that's just one plug I figured I'd throw in for Carson and I.
Plug, yeah. And OC Detail New Jersey throwing out some love for Adam's hybrid drying towel.
Nice.
Shout out that. Another good choice.
Yep.
Then I've got Brian Rushing here. Liquidator is mine. I've ordered like 10 others to try and see if I like others more, but it sounds like Liquidator is his.
I'm assuming that's
love.
a sad face.
Oh, it's laugh
Brian.
crying.
Oh, it's a laugh cry.
laughing. Tilted over even, so it's even more dramatic.
Look at this guy, Joey Belinsky. Click that like button if anybody enjoys the mustache. Yeah, I mean, I'm just goatee. Yeah, I can't even say mustache. It's just a goatee.
No, now I got to let all this grow back because I miss having my safety.
Dane,
chin line.
I like the Ted Lasso, like I said.
It's a weird feeling. I gotta be honest. It's a very weird feeling because I haven't shaved down the bottom of my chin or anything since. Oh man, I grew facial hair when I was in my mid-20s, and I just kept it.
I thought you were growing facial hair when you were like 16.
Oh, no. I had it before then,
what I mean?
too, but I kind of went through phases of like, shave it down, have it there, shave it down, have it there.
Dane had the frosted tips. He looked like he could be a part of a boys, early 2000s
I looked like I was in a
boys
boy band back in the 2000s. Yeah, in high school, I definitely
like
looked the
21
part.
Jump Street, when they go back to high school.
Oh, no. Well, okay, so looking through the line, we've got love for the gauntlets from Anna Longfield. Solid choice.
Thank you, Anna Longfield.
And then I've got... Bam.
Which by the way,
Lucas.
Anna, I think, was in the running to phone me. So, Anna,
yes.
I'm not forgetting that, okay?
It's a mixed bag,
Lucas, playing with my new bestie, Ultra Safe wheel and body brush.
Ooh.
I do wonder, though, when I use it primarily on wheels, is it safe to use on plastic grills as well as, of course, after a proper rinse? Yes, it is. It is a great tool. Yeah, no, it's totally fine. In fact, when that was tested, Anthony originally tested that on black paint just to see.
Yeah.
And it is a very safe. There's a reason why it is the Ultra Safe wheel and body brush. So, yes, definitely use that on your plastic grill. Use with caution. Make sure it's rinsed well.
Okay. Then let's see. We've got Mr. Betonator.
Can you please explain what the point of a drying aid is?
Love to.
The point of the drying aid, and I'm going to give you kind of my definition, is it saves a step. Essentially, your paint's wet, you apply it, you dry it, you're done, and it adds hydrophobics and protection versus drying it and then respraying a quick detailer and then wiping it off yet again. So I would say maybe having the drying aid in comparison to a quick detailer, you're saving a step and you're saving an extra added contact wipe on your paints.
And I would kind of take what Gabe is saying and specifically say what he's saying is when you're adding protection. When your plan is to add protection, you want to do it that way. That's where a good case with the drying aid makes sense. If you want to use that protective product and apply it during that time, that works. However, I would also note that you can use products that do not contain any protection, such as regular Optimum No Rinse, rinseless wash. Anything that doesn't have protection that still provides lubrication. Sometimes the point of a drying aid, because I feel like this is what maybe you're trying to get at, is you just want something that's going to help your towel glide across the surface a little easier and dry more. It's counterintuitive, making something more wet just to dry it, but it truly does work. And I've had a good experience every time I've gone that route as opposed to just drying over whatever I've got on the surface, because sometimes... Not every time. People have contamination on a car and they're not looking to do a full decontamination step at that time, and that can be a little rougher to dry off.
Yeah.
So this is a way to kind of offset some of that roughness.
Yeah, like I said, this again goes back to the conversation or the thought process of process in your wash method. It does save a step. You can see instantaneous hydrophobic effects with it. It is a good method to use. It's just I don't know. It really comes down to the user. What preference? For me, I do occasionally like doing it if I'm trying to save time in my process. Otherwise, to be honest, I like doing a nice quick detailer to finish off, like or an SiO2 based quick detailer on my paint surface. So that's just me, but it's all process based.
All right. Whew.
Who do we got?
Spencer here with more Volkswagen talk.
My wife and I recently bought a new ultra reliable Volkswagen Golf R. I'm thinking about polishing the hood, front bumper, rear bumper, and side skirts. Once I finish, I will drive it straight. Nice. Straight to the dealership.
Oh, sure. The guy with the Subaru is laughing in the background.
Spencer,
he laughs in head gasket.
Spencer, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
You're a Toyota guy, so you just basically look at everyone else's vehicle as being, in terms of reliability, inferior.
No, that's not the case, Dane.
Oh, you totally think that, even if you don't say it out loud. You're just like, interesting choice, not purchasing a Toyota.
Hey, at
Honda.
least Spencer bought a Golf R. At least it wasn't like I don't know.
No, I love that Spencer bought a Golf R. I don't have hate in my heart for Volkswagens the way some people
you know what? I had
a
girlfriend that had a Volkswagen, and just changing the freaking battery on it was the worst. They're cool looking cars, but my goodness, sometimes you get in there mechanically just to do the most simplest things. Yeah.
Okay.
I do think the Golf R is pretty sweet, though, Spencer. So I am super stoked for you. I genuinely am. All jokes aside, seriously.
No, it is a cool under the radar kind of hot hatch car.
Watch,
Love
Joey's going to jump in here.
All right.
Brian Rushings. Is this Adams hybrid basically a gauntlet? The gauntlet, just so you're aware, so the gauntlet is its own towel. So if Adams hybrid is the gauntlet, we've got issues because the gauntlet is genuinely, it is a patent design
patented
by the rag company. Yeah. So to answer that, no, it is not.
All right. Then I got Lucas here. Rags to riches in a spray bottle dilution? ? To keep them rags alive before proper wash in machine. So he's wondering, maybe you spray towels with a rags to riches solution beforehand. This kind of feels like overkill, honestly, Lucas.
Honestly, Lucas, what I do is I have a bucket and I do my wash method, and then if I'm using SiO2 or bead maker or something like that that's going to clog up the towels, I automatically let them sit and dwell in that bucket for about, I don't know, I'm kind of psycho, so I do 24 hours and then I throw them in the wash just to make sure. Okay. So I think spraying them, I don't think this is necessary unless you really want to. Totally up to you.
All right. Then I've got Spencer to get those pieces PPF'd. Then once it's done, I'm going to coat everything in Diamond Protect DB36 and DB PPF, respectively. Does the order of operations seem okay? So that's the Golf R treatment he was talking about.
Obviously, you don't want to put any type of coating on until after you PPF. You want to make sure PPF is solid on there. Then I would honestly, I think you could get away with just Diamond Protect PPF. I have, my vehicle is wrapped, and I have the wrap coating by Diamond Protect. It's been on there now for 2 years, and it has been solid. If you just do a basic maintenance wash occasionally, once or twice a month minimum, you're not going to lose the hydrophobics of your coating. It's going to maintain. So, yeah, I think that might be a little bit too much. You can do Diamond Body 36, but you can top them as well. That's totally fine. Order operations, though, I would probably do PPF first before Diamond Body 36.
Okay. And this one's a fun one. I'll talk a bit about this.
Sure.
OC Detail, New Jersey. Would TRC make a bath towel? The answer is,
oh my gosh,
we did. We did for a long time. Actually,
you guys didn't buy it
in the early days of my experience and Gabe's experience with the rag company. If you recall, company dates back to '99. We took over
2013.
in 2013.
Yeah.
That was when I moved us into the garage. My parents were doing the books at night, and I was essentially running the phones, doing the website.
Built the shelves.
And Gabe built the shelves.
I literally built the shelves in the storage units.
So definitely the early days there. But we had bath towels, and actually what happened was we didn't really necessarily know what our niche was going to be at the time, because we sold a lot to
the Ritz-Carlton
hotels of varying degrees,
we
especially
even sold
nice
to Tesla
ones.
And we didn't know.
Yeah, well, and it was tough because when we originally took over, a lot of the records in the company were like paper records, so a lot of it had to
Filing
be digitized.
cabinets.
So there was a lot of work cut out for myself and everybody involved just to get that going. But yes, it was an undertaking. Anyway, bath towels. So the deal with the bath towels was we had a lot of them, but they were not a hot seller because I remember I would answer the phone sometimes and I get people who bought a bath towel and they weren't used to microfiber, and these were the closest I could point to would be like an Eagle Edgeless but in a bath towel size.
Yeah, they were very, very. They took. I mean, these were the best. Some of the best drying towels.
They were 70-30 blend, and they were a very large size. I'm talking like
huge,
36 by 72.
Huge,
very large towel, meant to be super nice, but it would. Think about how an Eagle Edgeless feels when it gets wet. I would get calls from people sometimes who weren't used to having a microfiber bath towel.
Yeah.
They were used to cotton. This lady had a microfiber, that she bought from us, bath towel, and she didn't like the way it felt on her skin. And some people do have that sensitivity towards microfiber, but she didn't like the way it felt when it was wet. So this was just kind of like helping somebody understand that microfiber does feel different.
Well, and the other thing too was the way people were taking care of their towels way back in the day versus now. People weren't I mean, no one that when we were working in the garage, there was no such thing, or we didn't have, at our knowledge, I think there was maybe one company that had a microfiber detergent.
Most of the time, we would simply refer people to free and clear detergents because those existed. Free and clear detergents have existed for quite a while for sensitive skin. The point was they didn't have heavy dyes, fragrances, or softeners in them, and that was a way to keep from overloading microfiber with a bunch of crap that just fills it up.
And the other thing, too, was they didn't realize the wash process of washing your microfiber just with microfiber, not with cotton. So that was the other
number of
caveat.
times I had people on the phone who washed their microfiber bath towel with like a bunch of very like linty socks
or even clothes.
Other things.
So to answer your question, OCD detail, we did do it. It's been a hot minute. We don't know. We'll see what the future holds.
Basically, the evolution took place. We ended up falling into the auto detailing space as our primary focus. However, that's not to say, the rag company, notice the name itself is not car-centric, detailing-centric. We were a lot of things to a lot of different people, and we still could be, we still can be, and we actually do, kind of behind the scenes, sell a lot of different ways besides auto detailing. However, that is something we can always expand in the future. So never say never. It's a very long, roundabout way, kind of a little history lesson for you. But I feel it's important once in a while to remind people that, we've been around for a while.
Kind of fun going back in time a little bit.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
All right. So, Espen, let's get Espen up on the screen.
Hey, from Norway, lovely mustaches. Thank you, Espen. I don't really have them. I get the goatee thing. Yeah.
Because of me, they're looking at you and they just assume you have a mustache too, which you do. It's just attached to other facial hair. And I made the very bold decision.
I guess I could go like that if I sat like this.
Get rid of the other.
I don't.
There you go.
I don't have the luscious Ron Burgundy style. I want some bath towels, says Brian Rushing. Okay, well. We'll see. Maybe get the largest liquidator, and
it's a place to start. Actually, if I were going back and I were designing a bath towel for us to sell now, I would be looking at the twist loops before anything else.
I don't know if I'd go as thick as the liquidator.
No, I would go thinner so that you could fold it easier. Definitely. However, definitely a much not 1500 larger thick. Size.
Yes. So try that, Brian. I don't know.
The other thing to bear in mind, like why we didn't sell a lot of those, was they were expensive to produce because. It's not so much that having a small towel is cheaper and having a big towel is more expensive. There's actually certain sizes where it becomes very economical to make towels a certain size. That's why you see so many 16 by 16s out there because it's similar to a size that when you cut them on a bolt of fabric, it makes more sense. But if you go bigger, then you're eating into more of the roll. And if you go smaller, then it just becomes this, wave of a bunch of little guys. Anyway, the economics make more sense for certain sizes.
That makes sense.
So per pound, a cotton towel is going to be cheaper every time for a bath
every
towel.
Time, yeah. So Brian, just try it out. Yeah. OC Detail New Jersey could be a really great gift idea with a TRC logo
I know, he's selling it. He's definitely selling. And Brian right there with him. Same deal.
I agree.
I'm hearing you guys. I'm hearing you.
All right, we'll take notes. Anna should charge for towels, applicators used and coating. Should charge for I'm assuming. Should I charge for towels and applicators used and coatings? Anna, when you quote out your price to do a coating, you probably want to keep those in mind. It's overhead costs that you want to make sure you account for when quoting your customer for that coating job. So you should, because once you do coatings, obviously your applicators, if you will, even the no soaks, which you can probably go longer because they're no soaks, you're still going to want to replace those. And as far as your towels, over time using SiO2 based products, as well as if you use pearls for wipe off, you'll want to replace those. But also a good option, just bang for buck.
Yeah.
The Rip and Rag XL, utilize those for your wipe off. That will also assist for kind of that cost difference.
Bingo bango. All right, Spencer, Eagle 500 bath towel. A lot of bath towel talk.
A lot of bath towel talk. Eagle 500, yeah.
It's a good place to start,
Dino, oh boy, do we have new Magnum movie coming featuring Dane? I'll be the bellboy.
Oh, no. Drew Black, that car is dirty. Tell that guy to use more of your products. The funny part was the car was actually pretty clean. Like, I know people always say, oh, the car's clean. It's not actually dirty. In this case, this is a rare case where the car we brought in genuinely already was clean.
Well, because it was probably parked in the garage, broken down with a broken head gasket or something of that sort.
Oh,
I'm kidding, Carson.
Gosh.
Look at his last name.
Got to take a look at his angle there. He's talking to the camera right now.
Yeah, he's talking to the camera. That's not live on him yet.
I'm sure it'll go live momentarily.
Maybe. Oh, there he is.
See?
Yes.
See? Yep. I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm gonna clean it for you, just for you. Okay?
What are you gonna foam it with, Carson?
We're gonna be using some active foam today as a pre-cleaner.
He's actually going to do a hand polish today, right?
No, hand wax. I'm bringing it old school.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So yeah, stay tuned. Keep looking in the back and we'll give you updates on where Carson's at. Right now it looks like he's mixing up his active foam as we speak.
But yeah, we just want to have people have fun using products in the background while we talk to you, because we discovered, much like people who put videos of someone explaining some kind of super heady topic and playing Subway Surfers at the bottom, some people with shorter attention spans just prefer when you have something engaging going on if they find us talking heads boring.
Sure.
So, we just gotta appeal to a broader audience.
OC Detail in New Jersey. Hey TRC, I keep using microfibers in an open air hamper so I can accumulate enough to do a load of laundry. How do you store towels before washing?
Before washing.
Okay, so this is a good question, because if you store towels that are wet.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a caveat. If you store towels that are wet, obviously your towels are going to stay damp.
Yeah.
If you mix towels that have been used for coatings or used for quick detailers that are SiO2 or bead maker based, you could risk the potential of cross-contamination on other towels. So this is what I do. For my drying towels, I put the drying towels, I hang dry them in my garage. All of the other towels I intermix in the bin. If I have towels that are used for quick detail SiO2 based, I put those in a bucket mixed with R2R, and I let those sit and dwell. And then my go-to is wash almost immediately. I really try to get going on loads of laundry. I first start with the hamper load.
Yeah.
The load that goes in the hamper. Then I hit my drying towel second, and then third I hit the towels that are quick detail used.
Right. And important to note, like, if you haven't seen here before, I don't blame you if you haven't been to TRC, you haven't seen how we store, like, our microfiber towels that are used that haven't gone in the wash yet. We have like a suspension basket. Basically, it's like a frame
like a pull-out
on
trash
casters,
can,
and it has kind of like bag style, open bag
got
style
rid of
hamper.
those.
Well, we had that.
Yeah.
So did you get rid of it then?
No, I mean,
I like that thing actually.
Well, the issue with at least here at the Rag Company was we do a lot of different projects. So what happens is our towels accumulate like crazy. So with the new Russo cabinets, we now have more of an organizational plan. So that's the other thing too, is making sure that your towels are organized.
Right.
But the process, keep a continuous process where you're washing your towels. Don't do a detail and then let your towels accumulate and just sit, because to be
and that
quite
basket did have a habit of accumulating.
Yeah.
So yes, you're right. In our cabinets back there, we do have the pull slides where most of the stuff goes now. I just thought we had that in addition to the roller basket, and I thought I just hadn't seen the roller basket.
No,
so,
just figure out a process. OC Detail, figure out a process to wash your towels, but be consistent and quick about it, because that'll allow your towels, the longevity of your towels, to be last essentially.
Gabe is very serious about the cleanliness of this studio. Ask anybody. They'll tell you. Who says, clean this place up more than Gabe? Nobody.
Foam Gabe today. David Cervantes. What the heck, man?
Oh, man. All right.
This guy's...
So then we are... Whoa. Where are we at? We're on page 5 then. Okay. Let me make sure I'm getting to it. That's... Wow. Page 4.
I don't know why David wants to foam me so bad.
You know, some people just want that.
What about Carson, David? I'm going to pitch that idea out to you.
Okay. There we go. Kim loves the lens cloths.
They're awesome. So we're glad you love them, Kim.
Howie Gleason. Hi, guys. What's the GSM of Dad's sock?
So clearly you watched the 30-minute one-step video. Yes, that was a thing. So what Howie is talking about or referring to is a one-step video I did with Levi way back when on my mom's Corolla, and I was telling him that my dad back when used to use hand wax, but he would use old socks. And I'll have you know, Howie, it wasn't just a sports sock; it was a dress-up sock. Okay, so there was a little bit.
So
it was
even
one of the
thinner.
No, it was one of the really, really soft ones.
Okay.
It was more like the type of dress-up sock you wear going to like church on Christmas.
Well, when I think of like a dress sock, I always think it's thinner. Though.
No, they also have the thicker ones that are really soft.
Well, that's almost like a winter sock.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Okay.
So it wasn't
right.
just a thin sock, and it always looked great, and the paint felt so slick. I promise, Howie.
It conjures a terrible image.
Way back in the day, though. Okay, that was, yeah. These camera angles are getting sick. Hope you're doing well, Dane. You look great, buddy. That's from Pro Shine Solutions.
Thank you.
The camera angles, kudos to our crew.
Yes.
The high angle camera that Carson's looking at, he looks like he's stealing something.
It's awesome. Yeah,
Hey, Carson, put your vape away.
If you watched our podcast back in the day that was in the booth, that was the wide-angle camera we used, and now it has a new home. So that's pretty sweet.
Big shout out to Glenn and Nick, our production team, for
setting
doing
that up.
Brian
Love that.
Rushing, good question, QOC. Dirty rag storage. I use small Rubbermaid bins to keep them separate. Yeah, that works too. That works great.
Mm-hmm.
Just wash them. Don't let them sit.
That's right.
Neil White, winter is officially over. 70 plus in my neck of the woods. Great weather for detailing. Neil, where the heck are you? Not Louisiana, right? Louisiana got snow not too long ago.
Yeah, no, everything is backwards.
Are you in Maine, Neil? Where are you? Because it's not 70 degrees here. Brian, winter is taking a vacation. Hopefully decide to make it a longer stay.
All I know is when you've had a very quiet winter up to this point like we have,
I know,
we literally only got snow like on New Year's and then nothing else.
What's going to happen is
we're going to go crazy at the end.
Yeah, and then, or what's going to happen is spring is going to come and it's just going to constant rain.
Well, what happened to us last time was we had snow clear into May.
Yeah.
Bordering on June.
I know.
All right, Alpha Tango. I picked up a cheap Jeep for our now non-existent winter. There's a stain on the tan headliner from what I hope is hair products. ADS Pilot took off the surface dirt, but it's still there. Do you have any suggestions?
Try Express, dilute it, I want to say 10 to 1, in a foam, an IK foamer.
Yeah.
And use a high, thick wool on a rotary.
Okay.
Kind of like you would do with your cloth seats.
Yeah, you don't want to overdo it.
You don't want to overdo it, but try doing something of that sort. Express works fantastic. The other option is too O&R. I learned this from Levi, is you can use O&R for the headliners. Headliners is one of those things where it's very tricky. It is it's a very sensitive area of the interior that you need to be careful with. But I will say O&R is a good option. Steam it too. That's another. So there's a couple of ideas. Hopefully that helps. Let me know if that works for any.
Yeah. Then I got a what up, y'all? Happy Thursday from Graham's Garage. Thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Graham.
And what up right back at you? Oh, here's Demo. Afternoon, gentlemen, says Demo.
Afternoon, man.
Good to see you, buddy. Glad you're here. And then, okay, now I'm caught up. We were kind of moving around some different comments here. Love the lens cloth, says Kimberly.
Yeah, I think we hit that one already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, we did that one.
Good.
And Super Auto, now I'm caught up.
Happy Friday Eve, guys and gals. Hey, happy Friday Eve to you, too. I tell you what, Dane.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. It's really cool conversing with you guys because typically I'm behind the scenes in the production process of this, and I have been for years, and not talking to you guys, but I feel like I know you guys, so thank you guys. It's awesome.
Good old Al. Then we've got Ricardo B.
What's up, TRC crew? What's up,
hey.
Ricardo? Hope you're having a great day, man. Kimberly, but rip and rags work in a pinch. Yes.
I mean, they work in all kinds of scenarios.
Honestly,
pinches, non-pinches, whatever you got.
Rip and rags. Example of a good use of rip and rags, right? If I'm using a regular rip and rag, I'll use it with Ulix.
Oh, yeah.
So if I have to take off, if I've got a detail job that has, for instance, road tar, paint, or anything of that sort, I'll use the rip and rag.
Ulix is intense stuff, and if you can use it on a towel that you know, like
I'm just gonna throw
sacrificial towel, much better to treat that as your sacrificial towel than something
throw it in the
nicer.
trash can outside.
Now, for the people who kind of, get a little upset of like, the concept of the rip and rag, you're throwing it away, it's wasteful. They're meant to be reusable in many scenarios.
Yeah.
However, when you're using Ulix, that's one of those things where, you got to kiss it goodbye.
Rip and rag XLs are where I will try to be a little bit more stingy and making sure that those are used properly. Rip and rags, though, I mean, man, I'll use that for wiping down lower. I know, like the other. I had to do lower ball joints on my Land Cruiser, and to clean those areas, I'll just use a rip and rag.
Sure.
And just a regular APC.
And for people who then go, why would you use a rip and rag instead of just like a
it
paper
absorbs so
shop
much
towel?
more.
You have to understand that like there is a reason a microfiber towel is preferable to a cotton shop towel, even in the cheap scenarios. And that's because your cotton towel is not going to absorb nearly as much stuff. It's just not going to be effective in the same way that a quality microfiber towel will, even when it's a very low GSM.
Even
one.
wiping my tools, right? You wipe your tools down with a rip and rag versus to your point, even just a regular towel. You're able to pull out more of the oils and stuff from whatever it was that you were working on, from your tools or from any of the surfaces. Another example is changing the brakes. Like if you're someone that likes to change your own brakes, utilizing that to clean the calipers and all of those areas, it's fantastic. Just a quick rip and rag, and honestly it goes longer versus if I'm using just a regular paper towel. I have to use a lot of paper towels. So pros and cons.
Okay. Then I got Hans Closen simply saying Abend, because he knows that is a trigger word for me. It'll scare me if I hear somebody walking up behind me, Abend,
Okay.
Just look out, if you're walking in the Netherlands and some creepy guy comes out of nowhere and is trying to get your attention. You should just leave. Ted Hughes. Question, Dane. Recently got my first order of TRC towels, clean and shiny. That's Clean and Shiny UK. John Hull, lovely guy. Got a lot of towels, one of which was the Ultra Rip and Rag. That is the XLs. And let's go to Ted Hughes' next comment. Where is it? Says, never tried the Liquidator. Got the Gauntlet in a selection of sizes. I do like the Liquidator design. Tried other brands with similar design. I'm trying to find out.
Is there a part 3?
Here we go. It was right after that one. With the rip and rag, would it be beneficial to rip them all, wash them, and then store them in an airtight container? Ted, I know people can take it pretty literally when we say to wash your towels. Like normally, our microfiber towels, I always recommend people wash them. However, when it comes to the rip and rags, I say that's an exception. Number one, they're very tight-knit towels. They're tight weave towels, and they're already on that roll. Better to just leave them on that roll. You're not going to have issues with contamination that you may more commonly find in some of our larger towels.
It's not a long weave.
Yeah, in the case of that, like I said, it's a tight weave. In the case of the XLs, they're pearls. And that is something that does affect. When we tell people you need to wash your towels before use, there's always a slight chance, just with any towels, that you're going to have some potential, people will be like, lint and stuff like that. But it's like normal factory stuff that just is on there initially, and it'll come off with the first wash. But in the case of rip and rags, there's really not that to worry about.
They're worried about lint. The only thing that you could potentially worry about, and I'll give you the hypothetical, Ted, is if the edge sticks and maybe you have a little bit of excess, which in that case,
I would say
just snap your towel.
On the standard rip and rag,
sure,
you may get some of that.
But not
XLs,
on the XL.
XLs are really clean.
They're really clean. But if you're worried about any potential linting, just give it a snap.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Ted, I personally would not do that. I think you were just fine leaving them on the roll or in the box, whatever size you got there. Just keep them like that. You'll be glad you did, because it's just easier, more manageable that way. Just have them on a shelf.
Well said, Dane.
Yeah. No, that's an important one, because I know some people, some people, they're genuinely asking, but I do feel like sometimes there's like somebody in the comments who's like, gotcha. Oh, you say to wash all your towels, but what about these?
Yeah, the rip and rags.
It's somebody like trying to get a rise out of you, but the reality
no,
is,
I think Ted is genuinely just wondering. But yeah,
treat it on a case by case basis.
Yeah.
With the rip and rags, I can comfortably say I've never had an issue pulling one off of the roll and just using it.
Yep, just use it. You're good on that, Ted.
Yeah. Sweezy's World. What's he saying?
Hi, matte carbon fiber mirror covers. One of them has a light scratch. Can I polish it out? If so, what would you use? Yes, you can polish it out. I would use since it's a mirror, 3-inch. I would probably do a buff and shine. Just depending, I would do probably either the blueberry or the maroon, mixed with rehab. I think that would be just fine. And the nice thing with rehab is rehab does not. It has a tendency of not. It's clean. It doesn't dust. So that's a good combo. If it's a really thick scratch and you're having trouble with rehab, then that's when I would go to the go-to of Last Cut.
Mm-hmm. There we go. And Al Daly with a helpful bit of daily advice: polishing a matte surface will make it glossy. If you have, say, like that frozen matte style paint on like a fancy BMW or Mercedes, something like that, and you polish it, I mean, if you're correcting, there's certain levels at which that's acceptable, but the finish is like so particular.
Yeah,
I just don't like taking
chances. That's why I'm suggesting a
stuff.
foam versus doing a wool or microfiber.
Yeah.
Obviously, wool and microfiber is going to cut more, but with the foam, I think it's a good happy medium. Again, I would start with rehab and a foam pad, probably start with a blueberry, buff and shine edgeless.
Sure.
Edgeless edge guard. Yeah.
90s Limit 1. I wash my microfibers and the stains make me sick thinking they're scratching. Ick thinking they're scratching.
Yeah. It happens, and that's when that conversation of demoting comes into play. If you feel that, especially on paints, if you have that point of concern, there's a couple ways to combat that. One, take a towel and do a test polish. Use a paint that you don't mind that you can polish out just in case, but test it under a light. See if it actually does scratch or not. But the other thing too is if you don't want to go that in depth just to test and see, just demote it and upgrade your towels. I know that's easier said than done because that requires pieing more, but
of course. Kimberly, just listing off some drying towels that
Liquidator,
she loves.
Gauntlet, and 1500 beasts. They
Agreed,
really
Kim.
are, Kimberly. They really are. Dan Claylin, Gauntlet Mini is great on the Harley. I love the Gauntlet Mini, the 12x12. I think that's the one you're referring to, Dan. But that thing is awesome. It's great for door jams. It's great for small areas. It's great for wheels. I feel bad though. Purdy from Purdy Auto Pros was here, and I was giving him so much crap because he was using a Gauntlet wiping down wheels, which I mean.
On nice wheels, it makes sense.
So
it's a little overkill.
A lot of the cars that I get are
fancy wheels or something.
A lot of the cars that I have to detail are dealership cars.
Sure,
they're repo
stock wheels with rough finishes.
I put dressing on them, but to be honest, aside from that, I use just a standard terry towel to wipe them at most. Or if we're going back to the rip and rag conversation, I'll just use a regular rip and rag to dry off the wheels and wipe them down really quick. I hate to use
a thin towel like
Gauntlet.
that gets in all the spokes. It's easy. That's definitely a way to do it too.
That would be my go-to versus the Gauntlet on the wheels, but that's just me.
Yes. All right, Gauntlet is trying to dethrone my Liquidator, though. Okay, Kim. So a little bit of a battle of the drying towels.
It's a back-to-back. I'm telling you.
Hey,
it's really
whatever
tough.
makes you happy. Juice. There's testing Soap version 2 tomorrow. Okay, Juice. Well, I look forward to the results. You let us know how it turns out, okay?
Juice, if you really want to see some testing, tune in tomorrow. Carson and I are trying out a whole chemical line we both have never tried before.
I think Juice should actually send you guys, when he's ready, a version of Soap version 2 just to try out.
Yeah, Juice. Email me, Gabe at the Rag Company. Send me some stuff, and we'll try it out. TikTok Lives, baby.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, why not?
There's just something so funny about calling it Soap version 2.
I like it.
I know it's tongue in cheek, but that's funny.
I like my liquidator.
Demo, also fair. Love the liquidator.
Nice.
And then we just got some hellos thrown around.
Hey,
and
JB and Kimberly.
Anna will be watching TikTok.
Oh, thank you, Anna. Yes.
I was going to say, Carson's happy to hear that.
Carson and I have been doing a lot of just testing. The biggest things that we talk about, similarly to what I've been talking about today, is our wash processes. 2-bucket method, 1-bucket method, rinseless wash. So we kind of go through the gamut of that, as well as using a lot of our products, because one of the biggest thing is we talk about products in these Q&As.
Yeah.
There's one thing to talk about it, but then there's another thing to actually use it. So
that's what the videos are for.
That's what the videos are for. But the nice thing about doing it in a live format is if somebody has a question on the spot, what's the dilution? Hey, why are you using it in that facet?
Yeah.
We can answer those questions right out of the gate. In a live format, and oftentimes someone will give us a suggestion or an idea, and we'll do it right there on the live.
Someone learns something every time.
I know one time we used what did we use? We used Shine All diluted. What was it? 4-to-1 for your floor mat. So we tried something new on that as an example. So
like that.
Look forward to seeing you, Anna. Bill Pearson, 20 minutes in, and the hose mod is done. The hardest part is getting the fittings out of the original hose. Thanks, Will.
Nice job, Bill.
Nice, dude.
And that also shows how far behind we are. 35 minutes behind, in fact.
Are we really that far behind?
Checking in, Sheepstar. Hey, buddy. Glad to see you in the chat.
Thank you for being here, Sheepstar.
It's been fun having you in the comment section on all these shows lately, so keep it up, man. And, of course, we shout out your channel, too, because you got great stuff going on over there, so people should check that out, too.
Rich Smith, what's a good towel for polish remover and grams? I love the Creature Edgeless. I really like the Creature Edgeless towel, and the reason why I like it is it's dual pile, long nap, short nap. I use the long nap side for my initial wipe, and then I use my short nap for my final wipe. So that's a really good towel, and it's also a good versatile towel for your interior if you want to use it for that as well.
For real. Then I've got Neil White. Having a beard is like having a security blanket. Neil, that's right. It basically gave me a jawline I could modify to my taste. And like I said, well, now I just had to see like how my workout progress had been going. It's definitely better than it was. I definitely see like some definition coming in, but the reality is I can still joke. I've got a second chin in case the first one anything happens to it.
It makes Dane, I feel like Dane is definitely more I'm telling you. He makes one believe.
Oh, geez. I haven't heard Paul Blart yet.
I can't wait to see. I'm hoping.
I feel like that one is just like low hanging fruit, but I feel like I haven't heard that one yet, so I'm just gonna roast myself and throw that out there.
And Toma, would you say Rags to Riches cleans microfiber better than free and clear gentle detergents with white vinegar?
In specific for microfiber, I would say yes. Rags to Riches is specifically meant for microfiber that is used in detailing scenarios in particular. It's meant to get rid of some of those waxes, some of those sealants, stuff like that.
That's what it was.
Other
Dave designed it specifically for that. Yeah.
So yeah, that's something to bear in mind.
You have a cleaning agent that basically kills germs and stuff like that, right? And cleans and removes stains. And then you have other agents like Rags to Riches specifically designed to, like Dane said, break down any waxes, compounds, and any other chemicals that were used within your traditional washes. That's why it was designed for.
Well, and the reason I mention that is because I do see this come up from time to time where people go, I think, when somebody tries to sell me a product that does this very specific thing, I think it's a gimmick. I'm just going to go use free and clear instead. You're fine to use free and clear on your microfiber in general. There's nothing wrong with that. However, if you're somebody who gets like detailing products, especially those like ceramics, SiO2s, things like that, it gets in your towels, a normal free and clear isn't going to really do anything to clear it out any more than a regular detergent is. So in the case of Rags to Riches, that is specifically the ingredients that are designed to target those kinds of things. Will it require some pre-soaking? In some cases, yes. Yeah. But I guarantee you, compared to a standard free and clear, it is night and day in terms of what it's capable of doing when it comes to those kinds of issues.
Gosh, I love that shot.
It is a great shot.
Look at
so
Carson cleaning.
Clean. Wave to the folks at home, Carson. Look up. Say hi.
I haven't seen him flip the pad yet, though, so I'm waiting on that.
I just flipped the pad, Gabe.
Okay, all right. I was
the critiques
but
never
I'm not
end.
worried because he's using the Ultra Cyclone pad, so that's okay. My man.
All right, we got Rich Smith here. Whoa, I can't talk. What's a good towel for rinseless towel and buffing towel?
A rinseless towel?
Something that you could use for rinseless and buffing, or what's a good rinseless towel? And separately, what's a good buffing towel? Why not both?
I'm still going to stick with it. My Eagle Edgeless 500 for rinseless. For buffing towel, I'm going to go, again, Creature Edgeless.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like
those
that.
are my go-to. I don't know. It's all preference. I mean,
if you had to do one towel that could do both those things really well, absolutely, you could use a Creature. I would say that's a very solid choice.
I would say a Creature is a very solid choice because you can use the long nap for your actual edgeless, for your actual rinseless contact wash, and then you use the short pile for your buffing.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's what I would do.
On that note, we've reached our halfway point in the show. That's right. There's still another hour left to go. We've made it this far.
We're going to have fun on the next hour.
Yes. Not that we didn't before.
Yeah, I think, I got to wake up a little bit, do a little quick walk around.
Get some caffeine in.
I think I need to maybe go back over there and check on Carson's job, see how he's doing on the wash.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
I'm sure
thoroughly.
he'll appreciate it. No.
In the meantime, guys, don't go too far. Take a chance, get some snacks, go to the bathroom, whatever you got to do. Meet us right back here in just a few minutes.
Don't go away, because we have a lot of information for you, including talk on TRCMA. And with TRCMA, you don't want to miss it, because we might let the cat out of the bag with some giveaways, potentially. Major giveaways. I don't know. There's going to be some exciting news and exciting information that you're not going to want to miss. So come right back, and we'll see you here shortly.
Hello, and welcome to the second half of Q&A Thursday here at the Rag Company YouTube channel, where I'm your host, Dane Hennon, and to my right,
Gabe Garcia.
That's right.
And behind us,
we've got Carson.
And we got Carson.
He's hanging out. He's having a good time.
Carson is a stud. I love that guy.
It's fun. And
just don't tell him I said anything like that, okay?
I did want to say...
What was that, Carson?
You guys know my last name?
Black.
Okay, I was like, you never
Carson
say it.
Black. I know your last name, but Carson, he's the only Carson in the office. So we just call him Carson.
We just call him Carson. Well,
like we have two Anthonys, so I refer to Anthony Blaine as Blaine.
Yeah. Or AB, right?
Or AB,
and then Fisher's just Fisher, Anthony Fisher.
Yeah, well, I call him Anthony because I've known him longer, but like, it's
would you say
just
all day
instinct.
you call him Anthony?
All day. Yeah.
Yep.
All day.
All day.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's his
Yep.
code name.
Anyway. I did like that little TRCMA ad that we had in there. I'm super.
He made it.
So, yeah.
He made it. Carson made
kudos to Carson. Here's what I'm going to say. Before we talk TRCMA and we get into the meat and potatoes of TRCMA and what to expect for this year's TRCMA, I want you guys to ask some questions about TRCMA. Go ahead, ask anything you want about TRCMA. I'll do my very best to answer them. I want to preemptively get this going.
Are you SEO coding it? Because you are saying that word so many times. I call it TRCMA personally because it's
TRCMA. Oh, yeah.
Because I'm the one who came up with the acronym, and I purposely wanted it to sound as close without looking like it.
We do have to give the name to Dane.
I have named a lot of things around here.
He has named a lot of things.
Mostly just due to the fact that I've been here since the beginning.
No SEO code. No, nothing of that sort. I just want to preempt it. I want to get it in your minds for those of you who are watching. If you have questions about TRCMA, let me know. That is one thing that we have been vigorously working on, and pretty dang exciting stuff. I'm excited as as the producer, I guess, I wish I could be the viewer.
Sure.
In some cases, because I think this year is genuinely going to be, it's going to be elevated.
It's harder when you're in it.
So ask the questions, think of them.
Yeah.
And we'll try to have fun in this realm. We'll try to, bring a little bit of Carson into this whole thing back there. He's looking at his headlights, making sure, everything's looking good and pretty on his Honda. So just stay tuned. It's going to be really fun.
All I ask of Carson is that at some point before this Q&A is over, he slams that thing. Just throw it full Stancy boy. I need to see it go
Good
full
point.
tilty.
I'll do it right now.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
that's easy.
He's going to do it right now. Wait. Glenn's got to switch to the other camera
we'll get a
to
different
make sure that we
angle
got
so you
the
can see it proper. Yes, this is the perfect
look at
angle
that.
to see it. Here he goes.
She purty.
Looking real clean now.
We need to do another poll. Front window sticker or no front window sticker? Oh, he's getting ready.
This is great radio. That sound you're hearing are the airbags.
That is so sweet. I give Carson a lot of crap because I love him. But oh my gosh, his car and the way he's got it set up.
He's hard parking.
It is sweet.
All right, now
Kudos.
moving along.
We better answer some questions. What do you think?
I'm throwing up some comments and questions on the board. Starting off, we already did this one, but I want you, just as a reminder, tell people you are doing lives.
So we are doing lives. The schedule every week is going to be twice a week. We try to do one earlier in the week and one later in the week. Now
these are TikTok lives.
These are TikTok lives. So Carson and I are on there for about an hour to an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours, just depending on the content that we're talking about. Typically what we do is we do a full wash. We go through a line. We talk about the towels we use. We talk about the chemicals we use. We talk about the processes that we use. And it's a lot of fun. We answer a lot of questions from our viewers. And like I said, we do giveaways along the way. And then, of course, Carson and I love to banter. I think that is, Carson is my yin. I am his yin to his yang. Does that make sense?
It's yin.
Yin to yang?
Yeah.
Yin to yang.
Don't confuse it with the yin yang twins, which is a whole other thing.
Oh, we're not the yin yang twins. No, but we have a good time, Carson and I. We work really well together, and we try to make it very educational focused, but we also love to have fun throughout the way. So if you actually get onto TikTok, you follow the Rag Company on TikTok. When we go live, it'll notify you. Typically, it's 12:45 or 2 o'clock that we go live. Those are the two typical times we go. So check us out there. It's really, really fun.
Heck yeah. All right, next up, I got Note Stickful.
Is it safe to leave dirty microfibers in a bucket of R2R for weeks to months? It's not going to hurt it. It's not going to hurt it. I don't think you need to. I think it's a little excessive, maybe. If I'm being honest, I think
it might start to smell.
Yeah. Suggestion: 24 hours, 2 days, 24 to 48 hours, and you're fine. Then wash
Diminishing
them.
returns
Just wash
after
them.
that point.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware.
Yeah.
All right. Joey Belinsky, great podcast, you hater, directed at Sheepstar, who did recently have a guest spot on the auto detailing podcast with Jimbo. So saw that, thought it was very nice.
And speaking of Joey Belinsky and Alex Dewar, halftime show at the TRCMA or TRCMA.
Yes. So you can look forward to them with our halftime
they're
report
gonna be great.
Each day.
Bill Pearson, for sure, the gauntlet followed by the double twisters. That's another good one, Bill. Mm-hmm. That actually, to Bill's point, the double twisters is a sleeper. It is a really good towel.
Yeah. No, that one, I feel like kind of the people who have already kind of hit the more mainstream TRC towels, they start looking for like something different. The double twisters came before a lot of these other towels, but it was just one of those towels that you use it, you love it.
The double twisters is a sibling to me of like the FTW a little bit, and it's just so... It's a great towel. The size of it, what's the size? 16, 27?
It came in some odd sizes.
Yeah, it came in different sizes, but it's another towel that I do like, and it is one that I oftentimes forget about. So thank you, Bill, for bringing that up.
All right. Then I've got Alex Dewar. Who looks better, Dane or Gabe? Love you both. We'll need to catch the replay later. Well, I appreciate
Thank
that,
you, Alex. That's so sweet of you, buddy.
It's not a fight. We're just in this to help you guys with your detailing questions. I promise.
Genuinely.
The mustache can't hurt you from here.
Graydon Wolf, do you guys have any recommendations for an interior leather coating that won't get blue dye from jeans on your seats and things?
Gene transfer.
So we did a video a while back on a Mercedes.
That was a good video.
It was a really good video. It was a color lock video, and it was the denim stain remover kit. So, Graydon, if you're having issues with dye, I would heavily look at the denim stain remover kit, or just look at color lock products in general. Strong to medium leather care will work, and then they also have a coating as well that is great, a color lock coating that you can do both for new and old leather.
And sometimes people can kind of get up in arms when they hear there's a coating for leather. It's very important. The people at Color Lock understand what it takes to properly protect leather. In the case of a coating, obviously, you want your leather to be able to breathe a little bit. This is one of those like semi-permeable type deals, so it's not just trapping everything in there.
It is, and the way I look at a coating, and this is just from my perspective, is a coating is a way to help your surface create less surface tension, meaning when you get in and out of your car on the bolster, my wife always gets mad at me because I say, hey, lift your butt when you're getting in and out of the car, and she just rolls her eyes. She's like, yeah. No.
It's a sacrificial layer.
But the thing is it is a sacrificial layer, so you're not putting a lot of friction on your leather. It's not going to wear down the leather as much. That is how I look at a coating. It's not necessarily going to stop blue dye transfer. So Graydon, that's one thing I want to know, but it will help with the surface tension, making sure that the friction is calmed down a little bit more. So my suggestion is check out some Color Lock products. Look at their medium cleaner. I think that's all you need. Unless you have bad stains, you go for a strong. So that would be my suggestion to combat that.
All right. Then Al Daly saying drying aids provide lubrication to avoid love marks. Love marks, of course, being those marks that you accidentally give your car from being a little too attentive with the towel, something along those lines.
And that's why I made the comment. So to Al's point, right? Anytime you wash your car, anytime you touch your car, you increase the risk of micro-marring your car, right? If you don't do your wash process right within the wash process, in your contact wash, you have the potential of scratching the paint. Yeah. If you didn't wash the car properly, and let's say you didn't scratch the paint through that process, if you go back and you hit with a quick detailer and you wipe the panel and your quick detailer rag is looking like it's dirty, that means your wash process your car is not fully washed and there's still contamination. Right. And that's where you increase the risk of also micro-marring your car. So going back to the conversation of to use a drying aid or to not use a drying aid, that's where that step kind of fills in, where it's less chance because your car's already wet. You have to dry your vehicle. You're drying your vehicle now with a quick detailer or something of that sort. So you're less apt to scratch it, especially not having to go back and dry it and then go back and wipe it down again with another towel.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just a lot there.
All right. Anna Longfield, apologizing to Gabe. Sorry, Gabe. The construction worker in me likes to watch some people get messed with at work. Don't take it personal. I did say we should switch it to Carson. Newbies should get it first. Talking about the foaming.
Anna, I really appreciate you. Now, I don't think Carson appreciates it. You and David Cervantes were on my list. Now, I mean, Anna, you're on my list of favorites right now.
Okay.
And Carson... Yeah, I agree. Carson does need a wash. He really does.
He's doing the best he can out here,
He's hustling,
All right. OC Detail, New Jersey.
What is the TRC answer to the Costco 365 microfiber towels?
36 pack.
Oh, the 36. Sorry. Microfiber towels. Do you have a borderless variant? I'm going to let Dane carry this one because we do have a good option for this OC Detail.
If you're looking for, there's a few different answers. So if you're looking for an edgeless option, I highly recommend you check out the Edgeless 300, the Terry style towels. Those are definitely worth checking out. The 365s are going to be closer to a premium grade. They're going to be a little thicker, but same general idea. You're going to be close to that kind of Costco style look and feel. That's a Terry weave microfiber towel.
Right.
Now, we have our standard Terrys. This is where there's a little separation. The edgeless ones I just told you about are 70-30 blend. They're going to have that 30% polyamide in them, which makes them a little more absorbent. That's something that the Costco towels do not offer.
They don't match it at all.
So they're meant to be taking the general concept and then stepping it up for like detailing purposes. So that's awesome. But if you want something where it does have a border, for some reason you want to have a border on it, you can get our standard Terry towels, which come in a couple variants, and you can get a ton of different colors, sizes, etc. But I will say, while they may look similar to the Costco towels where you're like, oh, it's got the overlock stitch border, one thing that we have prided ourselves on since the beginning was if you look, well, number one, no tags, but if you ever look at the border, the way it is stitched onto a Costco Terry, something along those lines, you're going to see there's like a termination point at every corner. And what is that termination point where the border meets? It's kind of it's a failure point, for lack of a better term. But we have what we call a 4-corner zip stitch. That's something that actually runs around the outside, and it just curls and continues. It doesn't have that little hard edge point that happens. And it may seem like a small deal to you, but I promise you, in terms of durability, long-term, holding up to all the abuse that towels go through,
you're not going to get any threads.
It is meant to be the best possible version of that kind of towel. So even with the border, they're going to hold up.
Yeah, one of the things with our towels, and I know some people go, well, you guys have a lot of towels. There's a lot of towels for different purposes, and the one thing that we do really try to push is the quality in our towels. And it's a continuous thing, right? Dane has had a lot of experience working the phones through our customer service, which, by the way, shout out to Lucas and Aaron in customer service for doing that now.
They're great at it.
They're amazing. But we get a lot of customer questions, and we take the customer questions and feedback very seriously. And with that said, with that feedback, we try to apply it into improving our products. And that's why we're really proud of the products that we carry, because we know that we put the time and effort to make sure that we've made the versions and the changes and all of that. So that's why when we compare Costco or any store, big store bought towels, there's just a night and day difference. When you use our products, it's such a different experience.
Here's where I can also throw a counter for OC Detail. If there's something about that where you're like, okay, that's great and all, but I'm more concerned about the price, because obviously it's hard to argue when it comes to bang for a buck. 80-20 blend towels that Costco, the Kirkland ones they offer, are a great deal for what they are. And I would say for all the people who get, up in arms about, Costco towels versus some of those other towels you see out there, you go to like a auto parts store and you get some of those like 95-5 blends and like 100% polyester, which won't absorb next to, I mean, if you don't have any polyamide, it's not going to absorb much of anything. It's mostly just going to push it around. But what I'm getting at is, if your concern is price, but you still care about quality, which is why you're shopping at the rag company, the Rip and Rags really are the right solution for a
better blend too.
Bang for buck. And once again, better blend because we're going 70-30 on those things. You see there's like other companies that are doing like towels on a roll, yes, in a Rip style, but the thing that stands out is the fact that we offer them in a 70-30 blend. So you get more polyamide, which means they are going to absorb more than your typical towels in that kind of space.
And you get more towels.
Yeah, well, that too.
That too.
So if the concern is cost related, then I would say definitely look at the Rip and Rags. I'm a huge fan. The standard ones are great, and they're also 70-30, but the XLs are amazing.
They're amazing.
For what you pay, you get an incredible, incredible towel that just keeps coming. It's awesome.
Check that out. Seriously.
All right. Next up, we got Drive Twisties.
I have a ton of Spectrum towels that I love using as interior towels. What are other ideal uses for this towel? A Spectrum. Mm-hmm. You can use Spectrums if you have really nice wheels. I know we go back to that when to or when not to. Honestly, Spectrums are fine to use on your paint as well.
Yes.
They're also great for your door jambs and stuff like that. They're a good all-around towel. Spectrums are fantastic, and they've got that really nice edge.
I would use a Spectrum anywhere I would feel comfortable using a creature.
Yeah.
Done and done.
Done and done.
Neil.
Which is just about everywhere. Hannah Longfield, hazing is fun until the newbies fall off a 5th floor balcony.
Okay, that's definitely not happening here. Jeez.
That's taking it to a 5th level.
Yeah, don't want that.
That's a little scary. Ted Hughes, hello from cold and very frost, Glasgow, Scotland.
Glasgow. Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm sorry,
Ted.
Ted.
I didn't realize you
wrong.
were up there, but that's great. Glasgow.
Holy smokes, that's cold.
Yeah.
And I am using a drying aid clean maker. I use FTWs in pink. That's what I would use, Anna. That's fantastic.
And then I've got Rich, which, did we answer this one already?
Telegrams of leveling and buffing. Oh, yeah, we did, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Oh, we finally made it to where they responded to the Volkswagen slander. We got to keep going.
Joey Belinsky, Gabe, how dare you? I'm sorry, Joey. It's the reliability in me.
It's the Toyota owner in
you. Yeah.
Neil White. Oh no, more Volkswagen hate. See, the problem is I have an understanding and a respect for all cars.
I do too.
You have certain ones that stand out, because Gabe knows I bought all kinds of oddball cars. Like,
yes, he does.
Do not mind going pretty far off the beaten path to get a cool, interesting, whatever weirdo car.
Here's where I'm at, right? I know where Dane, I guess he takes the let's try everything road.
No, nobody can
where
discount
I
my
lack,
love of
right,
diversity
is maybe
when it
the
comes to
driver
that.
experience. Maybe my Toyota is not fast off the line, but you know what? I know that, one, it's easy to work on. I'm the type of guy that likes to work on my own cars. And it is I hate having to work on cars like a Tiguan, for instance, where you have to take the driver's seat out when the battery's dead, but the battery's dead, so you can't move the driver's seat, right? There's just things like that just don't make sense to me. And logic is a key thing that I really, really like.
So that's definitely.
But I
a
do
fair
like
point.
the body style of VWs. Don't get me wrong, Neil.
If all you had to do was
Joey,
look at them, you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But your fear is the ownership experience.
The ownership experience. It's like a BMW, right? They're great, but why do you think you see a bunch of BMWs for sale at 60 to 70,000 miles? Just saying.
Well, yeah, people don't like paying
But
for the actual maintenance schedules that the Germans provide.
Here's where my changeup is, right? If it's a classic. If it is a classic BMW or a classic Volkswagen, I'm all for it.
And just so you
guys know, I was a Volkswagen owner, right?
You were, but that was also one of your worst experiences.
It was my worst experience.
And to be fair, you did have a cool one. You had a Volkswagen Vanagon Synchro.
And
I think that's
Synchro.
awesome.
It was really cool.
I think that's very cool.
I was worried, counting my stripes that one day it was going to burn down. I was going to get insurance money, but it didn't. It didn't. I sold it before that happened.
All right, moving along. Steve Pearson, I just met. Oh no, Steve is the other one who gets offended when there's Volkswagen hate, and of course he pops up the second it happens. I just met Anthony at MTE. Fists were flying, people were screaming, the police were called, but I think the Volkswagen thing is out of our systems. And he comes in exactly when you start the whole damn train again.
Steve, I'm sorry, man. We appreciate
you. Blew it. Steve, love you, Steve.
Sorry,
I'm glad
Steve.
you're here.
I'm glad you got to meet Anthony. I'm glad you got to meet Anthony.
Which, by the way, please tell us how that was, because he hasn't been telling us anything about his time down there.
He went
we
a
haven't
little
heard
bit
anything.
silent. We got a Facebook Market post from Anthony telling me I should buy a Ford. What was it? Not a Raptor. Which one was it, Carson? It was an F-150 Tremor. He was trying to talk me out, walk me off the ledge and say, "Hey, you should buy this Ford."
All right. Yeah. So let's see here. We got Jonathan popping up to say,
does Rag Company recommend to use iron removers as clay lube or separate two-step iron, decon, and claying? Here's what I say. Well, so I'm actually going to throw this one over to Carson, because Carson behind us, I know you guys can kind of see Carson, but he's a little out of focus. Carson, what process did you just do on your car?
Yeah. So I washed it, of course, with GFX. I think we still had a little bit of that. But then put iron remover on it, let it sit, let it dwell, and then rinsed it off. And now I'm going through with our clay scrubber and a little bit of paint gloss and claying it now mechanically.
So yeah, and the thing is you can use iron remover as a clay lube, but be aware with your clay, right? The clay scrubber, the clay towel, and the clay mitt, they are all made of a synthetic clay, right? They can break down. You can use them, but here's the cool thing, right? If you buy the clay scrubber and you wanted to try using one as an iron and decon for clay, you have one for that, and then you have one for your traditional clay. That's what I would suggest. What Carson's method was letting the clay. I don't think you necessarily need to use the iron as your clay spray. I would definitely use a clay spray or a lubricant like paint gloss as your clay spray, but I would let your iron be used as decon. Don't let it dry, and don't do it in direct sunlight would be my 2 suggestions.
Excellent. And True Black with more Volkswagen.
The only VW that was worth driving was my 74 Super Beetle I had in high school. Amen. I bet you could work on that. And I bet you it was made logistically. Because you could take the engine out in like 5 seconds versus a car battery underneath the seat. I do claying after iron decon, Anna. So Anna just proved the point to what Carson just did in that wash process. Thank you, Anna.
All right. Then I got Drew Black here saying, nice old school Toyota sweatshirt. Thank you. I was wondering if anybody would notice it.
I know. I should have worn mine.
You're the Toyota guy, but I wore this because there was a time where I had a 94 Toyota Town Ace, the funny van, 4-wheel drive. It was cool, man.
He did have a really cool 4-wheel drive van.
JDM van. You probably saw it in our adventure videos from days gone by, but it's great.
That was the only cool.
JDM,
that was like
perhaps.
the only cool car Dane had.
Oh yeah, none of the others were.
I'm
cool
kidding, Dane.
No, that's
kidding.
fine. Yeah, no, I'm not going to take
kidding.
it personally from a guy who exclusively buys boring Toyotas.
No, that's not true, Dane.
I say that I'm allowed to say that because I've owned multiple Toyotas, and the driving experience, the only really fun one was that van, but it's because it only had 90 horsepower, and you had to slam it to get anywhere in a reasonable amount of time.
That's not true, Dane. Toyota Land Cruiser with the 4.7 liter V8.
Oh man. Well, I didn't own one of those though.
Oh,
I'm talking about ones I owned.
Okay, I'm not saying this like
I had a Tacoma,
it is the best,
2020
the bee's
Tacoma.
knees for those of you who own Toyotas, but out of the Toyota line, it is a little bit more peppier than most of the Toyotas. That's not saying much. So
your Toyota Tacoma, same generation as mine. I had a 2020. You had a 2019.
Mine was manual, and yours was
manual. I much preferred driving the manual versus my auto, which I hated.
But it was still like driving an old
on.
truck where your shifting was like
it's like long
throw.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look here. We've got what is all this hamburger and hot dog talk?
I love hamburgers and hot dogs. Okay, we got to hustle. TRC, any plans to sell microfiber wash pads like the one Autofiber sells, just not as long and wide? Maybe. Maybe, no. Maybe.
I mean, hey, just keep holding. I have to go through a lot of comments to find an actual detailing one here.
Why? We're not going to hit any of the fun ones?
Oh, well, it was mostly Sheepstar having a conversation with someone else, making lewd references, but also hot dogs and hamburgers being referenced. Anyway,
wow.
Moving on.
Why wouldn't
There's a
he
whole
use
thing.
tacos? Okay.
And buns.
Anna,
whatever floats one's boat, I guess.
Anna, how often should towels be replaced in a shop setting? It depends. Depends how often. If you're using them quite frequently, if they're losing their ability to take in, meaning they're becoming hydrophobic, you probably need to demote them. If they're getting dropped on the ground and they get contaminants, you need to demote them. If they're having the stains, you likely need to demote them, but overall it just depends on how often you're using them, as well as how well you're taking care of them after your follow-up. But your demotion, like Sheepstar is mentioning here, you can downgrade them and you can use them in more dirty areas, glass, door jambs, engine holes.
It's a good system.
Yeah,
I think he threw that
engine
in
bay,
for fun.
Engine holes.
Well, you know
I
what?
like that
Sheepstar's right, though. When he's right, he's right. So
you could use them for cleaning calipers, or heck, even use them for cleaning wheels versus your nice gauntlets. Purdy.
Someone come organize my towels, says Joey Belinsky.
Joey, I would love to.
Joey, we're just going to make you organize the towels when you come
Joey,
here.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dump all the towels out, and I'm going to make you and Alex organize them.
Oh, man. I'm just going through the comments, making sure I actually find some detailing ones, because this is so... I enjoy the off the rails, but the problem is it's 50 minutes behind, so in the interest of getting us caught up.
Alpha Tango, the video you released yesterday worked on me. I picked up several FTWs and other based on Anthony's suggestion. Also, bring game on more often. It's nice to get more perspective. Thank you, Alpha Tango. I appreciate that. You know, one thing I will say is I do love talking with you guys, as mentioned. I think periodically I get a little bit I don't know, not a little camera shy in a sense, because I do have a lazy eye. Although I taught high school and dealt with a bunch of high school kids pointing that part out.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna lean into it. You know, if I give a suggestion, just assume I'm looking the wrong way.
There you go.
There you go.
Easy. David Cervantes.
Gabe, it's just not the same with Carson. He doesn't actively avoid it like you do. The fun is in the fight. So David is referring to me getting foamed. I get it, David. I get it. David, I'll just say this. Anna? David.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, David.
I'm kidding.
You're still one of my guys.
David, here's the deal. You're still up here. I love you, man. But, man,
David,
I just don't want to get foamed.
David gave me a ride to the airport when I was at the Creator Summit, and I will always thank him for that.
He's a good guy, and he's been here for a long time. The thing is I just don't want to get stoned. Not stoned.
And now we're off the rails. Okay.
We're off the rails.
Lucas Ledge's band channel. Skip question if already asked. Best interior towel that picks up and holds dust. Wants to pick up a lot of dust. Tip to prevent the FTW from coming unfolded when using.
Hold it tighter. I don't know. I fold it in force. So fold the FTW in force. That's what I do. And then obviously you use one side, other side, flip it, other side. I mean, you can make it last longer. As far as your interior towel, I really love the Creatures. I have an obsession with Creature towels. They're just good with long nap, short nap. Long nap meaning if, let's say I vacuumed an area and there's still contaminants or schmutz in the seats or in crevices, they grab it. That's what I love about it. So, I don't know. My suggestion too is just buy a few towels. Don't go crazy. Give them a try. See what you think is best and what works best for you and your process for cleaning interiors.
Okay, we got Swamp Dog. What's he saying?
Track car detailing question. I have a track car that has new PPF on front lip and 4-year-old Car Pro ceramic aging on the back. What wash should I use before applying fresh ceramic to rear? So before applying fresh ceramic to the rear, you're going to want to use something like an active, I would be Koshemi Active Foam, just something to do a nice strip wash, strip the car, obviously polish, touch up in areas that you need to, and then follow up with claying. Well, strip wash, clay, polish, coat. Probably that easiest. I'd say that's probably the most basic process I would go through. If you have any further questions about what products specifically Swamp Dog, just let us know.
Yeah, there we go.
We can answer them.
Hydro detailing.
When is the TRC bathroom? Oh my gosh, bathroom talk again. Available or created? Would be amazing to have a TRC towel to dry myself and family instead of what harsher typical drying towels and general towels.
So basically like those rough cotton towels you get as like a little hand towel put in a bathroom. There's some nicer ones you could do out there.
So hydro detailing, I don't know if you were here I imagine you were here in the first half. So we had bath towels. They worked great, but again, our audience or our niche kind of changed, more focused towards the detailing realm. It's not to say that we're not going to go back to bath towels. Yeah, I don't know. I would say stay tuned. Maybe try.
I think as far as something you could do right now, you could actually look at some of the different drying towels we have to offer and see if something fits into a towel holder you have. However, I will say the colors that detailers like, to use on their cars and stuff like that, doesn't necessarily translate to looking good with your interior decor. And as something of an interior design, aficionado,
probably the Gauntlet.
I mean,
Gauntlet's going to be your most neutral.
On what will work.
Yeah, because the thing with the 1500, obviously it's red. What happens when you have a red towel, Dane?
A little bit of transfer in the
wash. Yeah, in the wash, right? And that's not a big deal because once you wash a couple times,
then it doesn't do it.
No anymore. Issues. But it's red, so it's not very neutral based. I would say the Gauntlet is a good neutral based towel, and the cool thing is you can get a variety of sizes, and it's not super thick. It doesn't have the double-sided twist loop. I love the Gauntlet. Try the Gauntlet.
Okay.
Well, that'd be my suggestion. Also, just for now.
The double twisters, if people have those, they also work for that.
The double twisters I don't find as plush or as soft as the Gauntlet, though. That's the thing with the double twisters.
Yeah.
So I would probably start with the Gauntlet and see where you go from there.
Yeah. Something to consider. All right. Nitram Auto Detailing.
When the return of the multicolor wash pad? When will there be the return of the multicolored wash pad from your TRC guys? I'm assuming he's referring to the multicolored Ultra Cyclones. Is that what he's referring to?
Maybe, but without a specific name.
Can you give us a little bit of, is there a specific name there, Nitram? I mean, we want to answer the question. As far as wash media, I really like the Cyclone mitt. It's totally preference whether you go mitt or you go, I like the pad, not the mitt. It's preference between mitt and pad. I personally don't like putting my hand in a mitt. I do like the pad.
Many people buy the mitt and just tuck the mitt in and then use it like a pad.
They do. I like the pad.
One of them.
I like the pad because it's just a nice, even.
Yeah.
But I do know we had different colors. We had the 4th of July. 4th of July, we had different colors. So
those were limited.
I'm assuming that's what you're thinking of. Just, I don't know. Reference and see.
Hydra Detailing. I was a bit skeptical about the Liquidator because I dislike soft and fluffy, but I totally love the structure, just like the creature in the 420 GSMs. The 500 and 350 isn't really my thing. 365 and 420. A lot of numbers out there, but yes, to Hydra's point, like in the way that the twist loop feels, it is different. Like I once likened it to like a burlap sack, but like not in a bad way. It's just a little rougher than you may expect, but it will not scratch a surface. And that's always people's like number one concern. Because Carson over here is using essentially
1500,
the 1500, which is using the same kind of material as a Liquidator, just beefed up even more.
The only thing I do find, right, when I look at Liquidator, because this is the common question, and again, this is all personal preference, so it's very subjective, but when we talk about even the differences in drying towels, I get really, really sad when my Liquidator gets an edge on a car because then it just grabs that twist loop and then I get a thread out. I find that a little bit more frequent with the Liquidator, unfortunately, but it's typically my fault, user error, unfortunately. But it's a tough, when you're comparing the three, it's really tough. And as far as the different varieties of towels, again, it's testing, trying, and seeing for yourself as the detailer or DIY or weekend warrior what works best for you in your processes.
Yeah. Neil White, dang, I just threw my entire roll of ripping rags in the washing machine without taking them off the roll. I hope that's a joke, Neil. I hope that's a joke. I think that was in response earlier to Ted's question about, so with the rip and rag, do I just rip them all off and then wash them and then put them into a thing? Which, technically, physically, is someone capable of doing that? Absolutely. Should you do that?
Maybe
not necessarily.
Maybe we need to make a FAQ video about that.
I feel like we need to make like a public service announcement.
Yeah,
for
just
people.
a PSA. Don't do. Just use it.
Don't do this.
Just use it.
I mean,
that only pertains to the rip and racks. Just use them. Yeah. Love them and use them.
All right, Franco, Devil's in the Detail. Just popping in to say hola. Have a good day. Right back at you, Franco.
Thank you, man.
And then, he only popped in for a moment.
Okay. Who else we got?
Another hello from XXM Ghost, who's also around, saying, hey, Sheepstar.
Hello.
And let's not go back in time. Let's go forward in time. Ooh, now we're catching up.
Well, let's run back to the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're on to page 2 now. So Joey Belinsky, baby gauntlets are 100% perfect for wheels. Yes, a fan of gauntlets.
I know they work great. It's just I don't want I guess this goes back to how good are you at cleaning your wheels on the initial process, right? I want to say I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't want to chance it. That's all I'm saying, Joey. I love my gauntlets so much. I just don't want to chance it. They're my babies.
All right. Well, moving along here, I got Kieran.
Sorry if this has already been asked, but any idea when we will see a video featuring the new Detail Factory mini wheel brush? So, Kieran, we are working on that. We filmed a bunch of shorts. We will cover that. That is a good topic that we will definitely take to the team. Kieran, if you want to see the Detail Factory mini wheel brush, tune in to our TikTok live. Just follow our TikTok.
Yeah, that'll be happening
Rad
tomorrow,
Company on
right?
TikTok. Yep, and we'll go over it.
Okay. Then Sheepstar.
I desperately need to update my drying towels. I just don't detail often enough for it. I also don't get water spots.
Well, that's a wonderful problem to have.
Yeah, That's a great problem.
Can't argue with that. Then Anna here, the mini wheel brush is on the website as of today before Q&A.
It is fantastic. I will say it is a great brush. What I like about it is it's not as thick also. It's slightly thinner, which means getting between your caliper and your wheel is fantastic. I mean, it's a great tool.
There we go. Then we got Tamara Chase. I love creatures too. I use them for interior work.
Way to go, Tamara. Yeah, you and I are on the same page right there.
Excellent.
I too as well also like the creatures. Alpha Tango 4. Keep going, Dane. I went from 420 pounds to 270, but it took about a year and a half. I'm still losing around 3 pounds a week. Even though it's slowed down, you've got this. Thank you, Alpha Tango.
Man.
Dane's
really
looking great, honestly. That's why I know that he wants to keep all of the facial hair, but I genuinely like the mustache. It scared me a little bit at first. I just wasn't used to it. I was like, whoa!
Others were frightened.
But I think he's on the right track.
But yeah, I'm from 300, I'm down to 262 now. So, we're working on it.
You're doing a great job, man. 38 pounds, baby.
And Tamara, I think you look awesome, Dane. I missed the beard, though. That's okay, Tamara.
That's okay.
I'm probably going to grow it back. I'm just letting it work its way back. I'll probably have that, Henry Cavill and Mission Impossible thing going on briefly, where it's like the stubble and the mustache. I'm cool with that. All right. Then Hannah saying no halftime today. That's how far behind we are.
Wow,
so obviously we had a halftime that came up afterwards.
Too many comments. Sheepstar, right? Yep.
Detailing Vibes 2006.
Yeah, thank you. What's a good towel for a final buff with any detailer? I'm
going to say FTW every time.
FTW every time. That's the win right there.
I mean, if you just never want to question a towel that's going to work, FTW is
it's your go-to.
It's the instant, yes, is it more expensive than some other towels out there? Sure, but it's also one of the, for the size of the towel, it's one of the most expensive to produce for us. And
or if you
it is so good at what it does.
Or if you want to go crazy, a 12x12 gauntlet.
Yeah. No, if you want to go that route, you want to get kind of wild with it, a little crazy, you can do the gauntlet, I guess. Yeah, 12x12 is going to be a little weird.
It's a little weird, the FTW, though.
But for a final buff, I really do think the FTW is just money. And if that's not your thing, perhaps you just go, I don't like that particular kind of weave. Another option, Eagle 350s or Eagle 500s are a good choice, too.
The Golden Eagles.
The Golden Eagles. Yeah, who doesn't love a Golden Eagle?
I love Golden Eagles.
All right.
Hydra Detailing. Are the creatures and the 500 Eagles safe since the 500 is more plush? Yeah.
Well, and they're actually different, towels in terms of the way they're constructed.
They're completely different, but both safe. That's the in short. That's the answer.
And it's going to come down to the particular finish on the whatever. What I'm thinking here is I've had Eagles where they work on pretty much everything, but I did once run into an issue where we had the carbon fiber wheels on the Shelby GT350R that we did in a video a long time ago for a Wash Wednesday with Tyler Santarusa. Anthony was polishing these black finish carbon fiber wheels. They had this very, very sensitive clear coat on them, and Eagles, even though they're perfect on every other surface and other surfaces the car worked fine, for some reason he was finding he was leaving love marks on it, and then he tried using a creature instead, and it didn't. For whatever reason,
it's
in that moment, the creature was the better option when normally the Eagle would be oh, that's a step above. But in that case, it just flipped for whatever reason.
The Eagle was pushing more so than picking up. Yeah. Because when you're dealing with certain polishes or compounds, what you're doing is if you don't have the right towel, you have a tendency that you could potentially push.
Sure.
And my experience with the Eagles mostly are sometimes if I have too much water or it's just too moisturous, if you will, it all does the same thing, or I'll leave a streak.
Moist.
I like moisturous, Dane.
Moisturous is a made-up word.
It's the greatest word ever.
That's kind of gross. All right, so Sheepstar, spreading product up after the super final wipe, like Final Countdown wipe. The final wipe down. Okay, Ted Hughes. No rise, Dane. New to TRC last few months. Got 365s, FTWs, Creatures, Eagle 350s and 500s, gauntlets, and wash pads. Man, you were running through all these things. I watched them all beforehand. Was just curious with the rip and regs. No, Ted, that was totally all right.
You asked a great question.
I appreciate you asked. And that's the thing. I don't want anybody to ever feel discouraged from asking questions here. We may chuckle because we've run into a situation before.
Or sarcastic.
But also
jokingly.
When we've had discussions beforehand where we go, what if somebody, like when we're coming out with a new product, we're like, what if somebody does this with it? Like, and people will be like, no, they won't do that.
The cool thing about this, Ted, is that you're here to ask questions specific pertaining to our products, detailing. That's one. But two, sometimes you guys pitch out great ideas within the comments that we didn't even think about. So even as we're learning, we're trying to educate you, we learn things as well. So no question is a dumb question.
No, and to Ted's point here, little customer service help, he says he noticed there was a lot of linting from the Creatures when he washed them. So, Ted, if you run into a situation like that and it persists after, say, 2 or 3 washes, make sure you let us know. Although in this case, he bought from Clean and Shiny. So I would say talk to John, and he should be able to help you replace those or whatever makes sense for that situation if it continues after a couple washes. If you run into that, sometimes there are cases during manufacture where you get kind of a lemon batch or something. It's not the most common thing, but it can happen. And anybody who tells you that, oh, this will never happen, they're not being honest. So it's just something to bear in mind. But you should absolutely be taken care of.
Absolutely.
So let us know, Ted, if you have any issues and you need help, just let us know.
Do we have a lot of questions, Zane? Because I feel like we also need to talk TRCMA.
We'll get to that.
All right.
Don't worry.
We got to make sure we get that in because I promised it.
Demo here gave us a super chat. We got to clap for that.
Thank
Where'd
you.
Carson go? Did Carson die? Where is he?
Carson says foam Carson in the second half.
Foam Gabe in the second half.
No, it says Carson.
No,
it's Carson. It's opposite day.
Yes. Okay, I was just making sure. Thank you.
Good job, Carson.
All right, so moving along, Demo, really appreciate that.
Really appreciate you wanting to foam Carson.
Which is funny because Anna corrected him and said Carson.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Anna.
Gabe is expensive to foam. I think he'll be needing more, says Hunter. Okay, it's not a contest, guys.
Right.
We appreciate everyone.
Creatures, my go-to all-around towel. One wash to get rid of all the lint, and they've been good to go. Yeah, Exodust FX or Exo. I'm so terrible at reading the names. Exodust. I'm just saying
Exodus.
Exodus FX.
Yeah, there you go.
I agree with you. Yeah, Creature is one of my favorites. It's in there.
All right. And then I've got a question from Anna here. Any thoughts on updating the product chart on the website? It would be cool to add favorite products to use with each towel.
We've been working on that. I know that AB has been working on Ask a Detailer. Mm-hmm. So, Anna, I'm going to take this comment after we're done. I'm going to highlight it, and I will make something of it.
And Anna, to that point, as someone who's been on this side of the equation for a long time, seeing how this stuff goes, sometimes there are unintended consequences that can come from doing that sort of thing where you pair a towel with a product on a chart and you show people this is how you should use this. Some people are very literal, and then they'll be like, well, that product's out of stock, so I literally can't use anything else but this product with that because that's what the chart says. It may sound silly, but I promise you there are people out there who actually look at stuff this way, and it is, unfortunately, you don't want it to happen, but people will do it and never tell you so you can help redirect them.
The hard thing is when people say this is the best product in the world, like whether it's chemicals or towels or what
First of all, those people are usually wrong.
They're usually wrong, one. But two, it's subjective. There's a process in your wash methodology, and it's pairing what works best in that methodology. It's like if I say that a compound and a pad are a great combination, they might be a great combination for a certain type of car paint, but they're not going to be great for all car paints. The same thing that goes with the chemical line as well as the towel. So it's very subjective. Just pick and choose.
But that said, Anna, it is a good thing to bring up, and I like where your head's at on it. I just also was trying to think of unintended consequences.
I'm still going to highlight this. I'm going to make something of it. I'm going to mull it over and see a way that I can make this work. So let me think about it.
Then Hans Klosen, of course, asking, is there international shipping on TR SEMA? And will it be faster this time? Because I still don't have my order from 2024. What? That can't possibly be right. What the heck was that? That was a
I don't know, Hans, but we're about to talk TR SEMA. So what we're going to do, this is a good segue. So what Dane and I are going to do is we're going to power through these. We're going to try and answer your questions as fast as we can because I have a lot to unfold.
These are the TR SEMA questions.
Nick, behind the scenes, I know Nick and Glenn are switching, so I apologize if we go a little bit past the 4 o'clock hour because I do need to get and regurgitate all this information out to you, just in case they lock me up in a closet and say, Gabe, you can never be on the Q&A again.
Which will probably happen.
Oh, jeez. Joey Belinsky, what are you guys most looking forward to at TR SEMA this year?
Joey and Alex in the halftime show?
I'm looking forward to seeing if Joey's VW will make it to Boise. Ooh. I'm just kidding, Joey. Of course, you know I'm excited to see you guys.
Jeez.
I'm kidding.
Now, Anna has a good question.
Is there going to be a schedule released ahead of TR SEMA? Yes, there is. In fact, in the next few weeks, we are working on the graphics right now. We just finalized the TR SEMA schedule, and that schedule is going to be shared on our social media platforms as well as our website. There's also going to be a TR SEMA landing page on the Rag Company website that you guys can go to see the schedule as well as any further information.
So much work goes into the show each year, you guys. I hope you probably won't understand just how much because we won't show all the work that goes into it.
There are going to be 32 presentations to be exact as of right now. I'm looking forward to Joey and Dewar during TR SEMA. Us too, Demo. Us too.
Then we got that.
I'm looking forward to a giant and I'm looking forward to a giant and a Canadian doing the halftime show at TR SEMA. Joey is really tall. I underestimate how tall Joey is.
Then you met him.
Yeah, I met him. He's tall. PNS has been hinting at a good size drop at TR SEMA. Oh, yes.
Ooh.
JB, I've been using the Twist and Shout a lot more lately. Underrated vintage towel.
It's a high quality vintage towel.
It really is. It really is.
It was just kind of outshone by the towels that were like thicker. But reality is the Twist and Shine makes a lot of sense.
It does.
I said Twist and Shine. The Twist and Shout.
Hydro Detailing, Hans Klosen, you should just receive a new order due to the issues and waiting time and interest towels.
So now they're just making fun going back and forth. They're having a good time.
Lucas was in the chat. He was, Anna.
He was.
Lucas.
Tamara's favorite.
Yeah, Tamara's favorite. What are y'all thoughts on the new PNS's drying towel? It's an 80-20. Yeah.
I would say when it comes to drying towels, if you have an 80-20 blend instead of a 70-30,
you're going to push more sometimes potentially.
Well, I was going to say, actually, you can overcome some of the deficit that you get from dropping from 70-30 down to 80-20 by bumping up your density of the towel or using longer fibers, and then you can be comparable to a 70-30 at a potentially lower cost.
Yeah,
so there's ways around it, but it's not necessarily a one-to-one.
Anna, I can't give you a definitive of my thoughts. I haven't tried it. It is I know we did order some towels, and oftentimes when companies come out with towels, we order them and try them, and we like to compare and stuff like that. But on the new PNS drying towel, we just haven't tried it yet.
There we go. Then I got Hydra.
Oh, no. I've seen and heard more about the broken and damaged VWs than any other brand. The R series almost never, but what do you say? But the not sport engine types are probably French garbage. Probably.
Yeah, that's usually more the crossover between like Nissan and Renault.
They're kind of like the head gasket issues of the Subarus. Am I right, Carson?
Which are overblown. In this day and age, it's different now, right? I'm sure.
Joey's response to Anna, I've been using it a lot lately. It's a nice drying towel. Good flop to it.
People love the flop.
So I haven't tried it. So that's why I can't give you a definitive. But
right, we got one page after this, so we do have to keep moving.
Ricardo B, looking to do a hot rinseless wash on a medium salt covered car. Is there any rinseless you would recommend for cleaning power to do a pre-spray before you're doing a bucket? So I would do a pre-spray for sure. You could use a little bit of Forest. Any of them are pretty good.
Then Sheepstar says, I've been happy with DIY, but I know there's more surfactant heavy ones out there.
Yeah.
All right. Hydra. Oh my, I love the sarcasm. Makes me smile even more during the podcast.
Thank you, Hydra.
Right, Hydra.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm glad you can hang. This is fun.
Yeah, it is pretty dang fun. Maybe one of the new ONR versions. Sheepstar is responding for ONR. Yeah,
yes.
The ONR is obviously your go-to. Kim, my first car and new car was a Toyota. The van. Paseo. Was that the van?
No, the Paseo was the little car. Remember?
It looked like the Corolla, right? But it was kind of smaller than the Corolla.
Well, the Paseo was the coupe version of the Tercel.
Oh, that was a freaking
That's
Tercel.
what I was going to say, was the Paseo was the coupe version of the Tercel. I remember because I had a crush in high school who drove one.
Oh, nice. Wow, Kimberly, Corollas are fantastic. My parents have one. My sister drove it. It's there. Yeah, it's a great car. Sheepstar,
very economical.
MC, these are the same car.
That's a joke.
Okay, Sheepstar. All right.
Hydra.
I will try the biggest size gauntlet as a bathroom towel then. Thanks. I might try the liquidator since I already have a large one. We'll keep you updated. Keep us updated. I'm curious. I really am actually curious which one you like better.
Okay. Then we got Joey.
JB, I would love a purple, orange, green cyclone wash mitt for Halloween. Well, JB, maybe we can pull something together for you while you're here. We'll check the junkyard.
Themed product releases are a real gamble every time.
Yeah, they really are.
Because if people end up not being interested,
and
you
then
just
they
have
become
a huge
interested in months and years later.
They're
That's
interested
the weird thing.
like long after it's gone.
Hydro detailing, rip and rag in the washing machine is rock and roll. Literally. SB, hi-yo, don't know if this has been covered. What's the best towel for the buffing stage when using 855? I just FTW. FTWs are fantastic. I haven't tried 855, but I'd imagine it's
FTW. You can't go wrong if you're trying to wipe off any kind of compound polish stuff like that. Is like the perfect happy medium.
Try an FTW.
Yeah. If that doesn't work, then you either need to go to a more aggressive or a softer towel, depending on what the reaction is. But FTW can do it.
We got to hustle. We're over by 3 minutes, and I still need to get my TRC, my regurgitation. Okay. I once used an FTW to detail a motorcycle. Black spots wouldn't get off after washing, not destroyed or working less. I feel like it's been hurt. Since that detail, I only use FTWs for windows and sealants. So the question I have for you, Hydra, is was it outside? I mean, what was your wash methodology in that process? Because that could have played a role in some of the water spotting. It's not 100% the towel's fault. That's all I'm saying. Not saying you're wrong. Just want to understand some more.
There you go.
Okay.
Tamara. I love the Wolves for my final buffs.
I love the Wolves, too. I do love the Wolves. Oh gosh, Dane, don't do that. Don't do that. Ben Snow, what are some good uses for the Platinum Puffle and also the Wolfpack towels? Can I use both to apply bead maker? I wouldn't. This is where the subjectiveness comes into place. For me, the Puffles sometimes I feel are a little bit more streaky than the FTWs, but the Puffles are super fantastic for wiping down coatings and other stuff.
The Puffles were meant to be a towel that was ultra safe on any kind of delicate surface. So the streaking was a byproduct of trying to be extra careful and safe.
The Puffles are fantastic
because of the longer pile.
I think someone also responded this earlier, but they're great for rinseless as well. So yeah. All right, let's keep going. Stephen Lennon, it's time for me to update any microfiber towels. Any tips of a few towels to get for all the parts of the car, i.e. interior plastics, engine bay? Okay, Stephen, I'm going to give you just a quick rundown. FTWs for your wipe down. Obviously, any choice of the big twist loop drying towels are fantastic. Creature edgeless are also great. And then get yourself the Rip and Rag XL for your any just major wipe downs. I think with those combinations, you should be covered.
All right. Then I got Hydro saying, Ben Snow would prefer the Wolfpack in your case and dry afterwards with the Pluffle. Personally, I would use an FTW, which absorbs and levels very well, or a Creature Edgeless, or a 500.
Okay. See, that's fair. It's again. Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yep. Hydra, general help for everyone. Sometimes my towels were dirty even after washing. Leaving them in a bucket with Rax Riches is a game changer. The water was so dirty. Now the towels come out perfect clean. Telling you, just leave it in your bucket for 24 hours and you're good to go.
There we are.
Even your interior towels.
Then Anna, I like this. I feel like they just said Matt from OG is wrong. I actually laughed a little too loud. Anna, it's okay. We disagree on Matt with some things.
Here's the deal.
Disagree with Matt on some things.
We're not afraid to tell Matt what we think.
Watch any of our videos where we interact with him. It is hilarious to see Anthony and him go back and forth.
Now,
they both have their points, but at the same time, it comes down to personal preference.
It's very subjective. Matt is a great guy.
Nobody has more personal preference towards the things they do than Matt.
That is true. Very true.
All right, moving along here. Love Lucas, says Tamara.
I know, Tamara. We know. Hans, no joke. 2 boxes that were shipped, never made. Hans, did you message us? Did you let anybody?
I was going to say, I think he was communicating with John.
Okay.
But that sounds like a customs thing that happened on his end.
If that didn't happen and there's an issue, you obviously need to let us know. So email Gabe at the Rad Company or Dane at the Rad Company to further explain if you have any issues. We'll help mitigate and get that going.
I think Hans discussed that before.
David, thanks for the great live, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you, David. You're awesome, man, even though you want to phone me. Sheepstar, burgers or hot dogs? Burgers, baby, all day long.
Man, I love them both equally. Even though burgers, you get a bacon burger, it's so good.
White, Sheepstar, tofu dogs. What?
Okay. Mix it up with the tofu dogs.
Yeah, drive it.
All right, Ricardo.
How would you compare the last cut to PNS Rehab? So they're both different. Rehab, I would say last cut is probably a little bit more. They both cut really, really well. It just depends on your pad combo. Rehab does not dust as much as last cut, but last cut is kind of like that true and almighty. If you have issues and you want it to work all day, every day, last cut. Rehab, the only thing that I would say with Rehab is don't get it on plastics and leave it there too long.
In the case of the last cut, it was designed to handle extreme heat. It's meant to deal in environments that are a little more rough, extreme. So I would say the last cut could definitely go toe-to-toe with anything. I love the fact that you have a pad-dependent compound. And in the case of Rehab, it functions similarly where it's pad-dependent.
It is.
But in the case of last cut specifically, like if you're dealing with some hot panels and stuff like that, it's not always ideal to use products on it, but if you are, last cut's a really good choice.
Rehab smells really good and it doesn't dust, which is crazy.
Rehab smells great.
The Hydra, the FTW has no fault, just a hidden spot with a chain lube in my very beginning phase of detailing for free of my own and family. Just never want that to ever happen again. Haha, the FTW quality. Gotcha.
True. He says the FTW quality is too amazing to be black spotted. Yes.
It really is.
And then the very last comment, Hans closing, Lucas know all about it.
Oh, got it, Hans. Yeah, awesome. So you've been talking to Lucas.
I was positive. I'm like, there's no way he didn't talk to them about it already. So we're caught up. Now you can do your TR SEMA plug.
So for those of you who are still here, hopefully there's a lot of you. TR SEMA is happening starting Monday, March 31st through April 3rd, which is that Thursday. Now, it is going to be a big show. There are 32 presentations. Here's some of the presenters coming down this way. I'm just going to let it out a little bit. So we're going to have Flex. We're going to have Ego. We're going to have Obsessed Garage. Yes, that's right. Matt from Obsessed Garage is going to be here presenting all week. So he's going to present day one, and then he's also going to have a vlog going on his YouTube channel throughout the week. So you'll want to tune in for that, for his thoughts. We've got, of course, Kosh, PNS. We've got Armor Detail in the house. And new this year coming is Car Candy. So Car Candy is going to come out here as well. We've got Buff and Shine. We've got Lake Country. We've got Rupes.
Armor.
We've got... Yeah, we already said Armor, didn't we?
I threw it out there again, just in case you forgot.
That's great. We've got Solution Finish. We've got Detail Factory. We've got IK. So here's what we're going to be doing this year. We're still working on the logistics. And again, as I share this information with you, just know that we're early in the stages. We're just finalizing the schedule as we speak. We're working on logistics for giveaways. So every day in the halftime show, as you guys know, Alex Dewar and Joey Belinsky are going to be hosting the halftime show. Throughout that halftime show, at the end of the halftime show, every day, there's going to be a giveaway. Now, a lot of the companies that are coming are going to be doing a giveaway. We're still working out the details on how that giveaway is going to work, but we want it to obviously be kind of like this fair giveaway. I will give you one kind of maybe little tiny hint. Viper Chair is coming.
Oh.
So, you know, if let's say you check out our videos here at the Rad Company, you're like, man, they've got cool Viper chairs. I wish I could get one. Well, you might have a chance to win one. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to blow my own ego. But there's going to be a lot of really cool prizes.
Tamara says no Jack. No, Jack was going to be there.
Starnagloss is also going to be here as well.
So, don't worry, Tamara.
So Tamara, I'm just like, G-Technic's going to be here. It's going to be 4 days of nonstop live streaming. Nick, who technical directs the show, the Q&A show every week, he's going to be behind there doing the entire show. Glenn is producing the halftime show. I'm kind of orchestrating in the background while our team also works all together to make sure that this pulls together. But it's going to be 6 hours of live streaming every single day. So March 31st through April 3rd, that's Thursday, April 3rd, we are live streaming every single day. Jimmy, who is he is the brains behind the main channel, just strategic planning and stuff like that. His game plan, he's got some more Terracema action after the fact, but the big things that I will say is you definitely don't want to miss this show. It is going to be very jam-packed with content. Most companies are doing new drops with new products, so you can expect to see new products from a lot of the different companies. But the cool thing about this show that makes it unique is you get to ask the people from those companies directly. So meaning if you have a question about Detail Factory, I know someone, I think it was Kim, asking about the mini wheel brush. Well, you can ask Brian Tabor about that. If you have questions about rehab or anything else, you can ask Sydney. You can ask Dave Phillips, who formulated the actual product. If you have questions about Koch, you can ask any of the Koch boys. The cool thing is that it is a place and time for you to ask your questions as well as see the drops. Think of it like SEMA in the sense where a lot of brands go to SEMA because they release new products. Well, TR SEMA is a very similar facet.
It's a detailing
show.
It's
a detailing show that is live, built for you guys specifically. So the big thing is I really hope that you guys can be there. And also, there might be some sales. I don't know. There might be some good deals.
There tend to be surprises every day of the week that week.
Yeah. So I want to say every year that the show is elevated more and more and more. I really feel that this year it will be. I definitely think you guys should check it out. I guess that's as much as I wanted to share at this moment. But definitely stay tuned. I'll try to get on another Q&A in some way, shape, or form. As long as they don't lock me in the closet and say, Gabe, you've been talking too much on that last podcast. We're gonna have to sit this one out. So anyhow, with that said, guys, we don't want to keep you too long. We don't want to keep Nick too long. I just want to say thank you for an awesome Q&A. Thank you for providing the questions and doing towel talk. And just as a reminder again, it is 20% off all microfiber towels using code SHINY20. That's SHINEY 20.
At theradcompany.com. It ends today, so don't miss out on it. If that is something you're shopping for right now, check it. Get over there.
Shiny, SHINY 20.
Yes. Grab yourself some towels.
Seriously, we did a lot of towel talk in this. Go get some stuff. Go test them out. Go test out those ripping rags. Don't throw those ripping rags in the wash. Just use them.
And with all that said, make sure you hit like on this video, this live stream. We appreciate it. Carson back there definitely appreciates it. And, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing?
Yeah, subscribe. And subscribe to the TikTok channel as well.
All right. Done and done. Let's get out of here. You guys had a fun show. Now we got to go wrap this up.
See you on the next one.